In Lancaster, Texas, just outside Dallas, the manhunt is over for the suspect in a fatal shooting at a children's football game. 39-year-old Yaqub Talib turning himself in.
Child Protective Services fires an employee caught on camera telling a 14-year-old girl in foster care to be a prostitute. But that state agency said nothing about the video's existence during a recent court hearing.
Dream with me, let your mind explore all the things we were created for. Possibilities, an open door that keeps us reaching out for more. Don't know it, so I listen for my inner voice. Carry the winds, drown out the rain, but will it make sense without the pain? Will color me blue, then tickle me pink. Who knew that at the brink of the end, life could begin? Treasure buried deeper with each loss, so filled with grief and catastrophic thoughts, insecurity, distorted flaws. It all gets heavy, sinking under all the cost. Sure that I'm not sure, I know when I don't know it, so I listen for that inner voice. It carries the wind, drowns out the rain, but will it make sense
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Evelyn. I'm here to introduce you to a new level of entertainment. The stars have aligned, connecting Brooklyn, New York, Sacramento, California, and Atlanta, Georgia. The team. Introducing Flatbush, Brooklyn's finest, the boss, Chef Chupino. Hailing from Sacramento, California, is Andrea Lynch. From the dirty South Atlanta, Georgia, is your boy, Victor Freeze Music, or just Vic.
Club phone jump, it's the weekend. Dream come true with the big friends. Hitting down doors, that's a defense. Rolling with all, that's our friends. It me change, you let me preaching. With a bull shaking to my maybe drop bands. Today on by and I say, today on by you the kid play, baby, tell me what you want. Julian, I know you need fun. Ever since remember we been knocking at the door. Y'all been moving paper, we be running up the school. Y'all before that builder, we was sleeping on the floor. West side Africa, you know the shit ain't far. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care.
Pop it, baby. Come roll with me. As times relax, my mind's relaxed. I got now from who got next. Here's my number, just send a text. You got a man and she responds, nah. Okay, sure enough. I'ma let you go, don't wanna hold you up. I'ma call your phone when I'm putting up. Whoever let you go must be them as far. Wait far. Girl, you so fine, I pay for. Fly you first class to the lake bar. Body so blessed, I pray for. Body so blessed, I pray for. don't care what they say.
I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long.
Why the hell I killed it? Night long. This the part where you get your girl, nigga. Make sure she focus, nigga. Make sure you focus, nigga. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, hit it.
I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say.
That's a hit for your ass, nigga. Hit for your ass, nigga. Prophet the One. Follow me on all Instagram sites, PROPHETTHEONE. That's Prophet the One in case you couldn't spell. But if you
Vibing all night long. All night long. Let me get a good camera angle over here. What's going on, YouTube? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can I get a 1 in the chat? May I please get a 1 in the chat as I sip my beverage, please? Just let me know if the sound is correct. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Andrea, A1 Day One, Mika Marcel. What's going on? Lady Naveau, what's going on? What's going on? All right, that leather outfit looking gangster, very gangster. We see you. And we know when the sisters be doing the over the shoulder, you know, the over the shoulder selfies, you know, they making sure they getting them thirst trap angles. We see how you do. Dawn, what it do? Another A1 Day One, what's going on? And of course, the third part of the team, Victor Freeze, music in the house. What's good, my guy? What's going on? Danique, what's up, bro? What's up, Danique? I'm sending love, and I forgot to bring Andrea up while she sipping her In-N-Out burger cup. I'm just making some shit up.
Ain't no In-N-Out burger cup. Be quiet.
Hey, I'm just making up California stuff. What's going on?
Hectic grandmama duties, okay?
Yeah, man. Talk to us.
It's a lot. But I love it. It's cute. And
cute, that's it. So you got to give us more than that.
He's cute and handsome, and grandma loves him. Yeah.
Isn't it just a nice feeling when you holding a tiny little baby?
Yeah.
And they can't talk and they can't be annoying and be rude and become like when they start getting the teenagers.
I know. He looked just like Veronica when she was a baby. But she was smaller than he was. He bigger than her.
Oh, for the record, y'all, just to make sure you guys, if you didn't know, a few days ago, Andrea became a quote-unquote G-mom.
Yes.
Yes. Her daughter gave birth. Her firstborn gave birth to her. Her firstborn child gave birth to her firstborn grandchild.
Yes.
Yep. And look, I can already see the grades popping up already. No, I'm joking.
I'm already feel like I'm getting old.
Look, she gonna go off cam now for like 20 minutes just to go check. She gonna run around looking for the tweezers. Where's my tweezers?
Oh, do I have some? No, I don't. Let's go now, chef. No hat tonight. No hat tonight.
No hat. Look, I was like, I had to shave. I got the hats, all the hats around, and I was like, what the hell? Leave it alone. No hat tonight. No hat. Just go be regular tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Last time I checked, you need to stop lying because you ain't no regular dude, okay?
Man, look,
Diva in the working diva. You got
but,
always dressed him to impress, okay?
not all the time though. Sometimes you just want to
Whatever.
be rough, you know. For real, for real.
You can't see. I can't even be the first lady because I'm like, I gotta compete with you. I don't like that.
Listen, man, ain't no look,
I
ain't
can't
no
go.
participation.
I gotta compete. I'll be the only one in there dressed to impress. I gotta compete with you. Okay?
All right, well, I'll tell you this, just so
What?
you make sure you understand.
Uh-huh.
Ain't no participation trophies over here. You got to come with it, yo. How about that?
Are you saying it's on for Carolina? Is that what you saying? It's on? Okay, I got you.
Man, listen.
Look, are you saying that to me? Oh, it's on. Okay, dressed to impress. Oh, I got you. I'm coming through.
So let me tell y'all today's show, right? You know, today's show is it's based on conversation that we had.
Yes.
Or on certain types of conversations that we have, where Andrea might send me something and I'd be like, okay, so what's the point? What's the nuance? You know, what, we just gonna get mad about it? Like, you know, and sometimes it'll be sensational stuff. I'm like, so what are we saying? So what are we saying? We mad too? Us along with the other 20 people is mad? You know, what are we gonna be doing? And she's like, I mean, I'm just saying, don't you think it's wrong? I say, yes, a lot of people think it's wrong. Where's the nuance? You know, what's going to make us different from the rest? And then part of the conversation came up where I was like, also, this is kind of early on in the game. You know, I need a little more information. You know? That's one of the Victor Freeze things. So it's like on the SATs, it's not just the letters and the numbers. I mean, the letters rather. The options, it's also, there's the option of need more information. So I was kind of having that type of conversation with her early today. And that brought up some of a couple of the main ones that you saw. So what I'm going to do is play the two overarching ones, but we're going to play a couple of other ones as well. Hold on a second.
Tonight in Lancaster, Texas, just outside Dallas, the manhunt is over for the suspect in a fatal shooting at a children's football game. 39-year-old Yaqub Talib turning himself in.
Child Protective Services fires an employee caught on camera telling a 14-year-old girl in foster care to be a prostitute. But that state agency said nothing about the video's existence during a recent court hearing.
Pretty sensational, right?
Yeah, it is.
Pretty sensational.
Mm-hmm.
Spooky almost.
Yes, it is. Mm.
That's the question. When we see those things happen, the question that we ask is why?
Mm-hmm.
You know, why did this take place? What was the reason? Was it necessary? You know, was it necessary? Was it preventable? Those are all major, major questions. But there's other whys that we don't always ask. You know, there's certain whys that I think that it's important for us to ask. Because a lot of times we tend to jump to judgment to vilify certain people.
Mm-hmm.
We do it a lot. Because the way that we work as human beings, our pain centers, they require being placated. They require to be soothed. once we feel pain, we need something else. Even if that something else doesn't really do anything to reduce our pain, we want something. Most of the time, what we want is vindication or vengeance. Vindication or vengeance. You know, so let's start. Let me pull this thing up here first. You know, because I like to think about the stories and the things that take place objectively, right? So let me find one of them. All right. We're going to cover this one first.
Youth football. An argument at a youth football game ended in the shooting death of one of the coaches. Good evening, I'm Blake Hansen. It happened this weekend in Lancaster, just south of Dallas. Mike Hickman, coach of the Dragon Elite Academy, was killed. The person police are looking for is Yaqub Talib, the brother of former NFL star Aqib Talib. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager joins us now with the latest. Peyton.
Blake, and today we're learning more about the youth football coach who was shot and killed, Mike Hickman. Friends and family tell me he was a husband and a father. Tonight, Lancaster police are still searching for the man they believe killed Hickman. A youth football game in Lancaster ended with gunfire Saturday evening. This video of the shooting sent to TMZ. Parents and children at the community park scrambled to safety. One of them, CJ Bivens, and his 9-year-old son.
I seen the fire come from the gun, and I just broke and I hollered for my son. I was hollering for my son and trying to, make sure my son was all right.
Bivens says he looked back to see his son's coach, 43-year-old Mike Hickman, lying on the ground. Hickman later died at the hospital. Kerry Lewis is also the team's coach.
We shouldn't be up here hurting like this because of a Little League football game.
Lancaster police say Yaqub Talib shot and killed Hickman. Lewis tells Fox 4 Hickman's son is on the team.
And his son witnessed him get shot down, murdered, on the field.
Lewis and Heath Mays coached alongside Hickman Saturday for Dragons Elite Academy when they say the opposing team's parents and coaches became angry.
They were just upset about losing, and dude came on the sideline, somebody gonna punch the referee, so the referee called the game.
In this video obtained by TMZ, you can see a man in a North Dallas United t-shirt arguing with the referees. According to Lancaster police, shortly after the disagreement with the refs, the two coaching staffs got into a physical fight. That's when investigators say Talib opened fire.
No one should come to a 9-year-old's game and be fearful for their life or be fearful of my son might get shot while he's playing football. Come on, y'all. This has to stop.
Talib is the only suspect named by police. Talib is the brother of former NFL cornerback Aqib Talib. Witnesses tell Fox 4 Aqib Talib was also at the game when the shooting took place.
These kids are innocent. They shouldn't have to witness what they witnessed last night.
Sunday, Hickman's players and their parents grieved together, now left heartbroken.
That he was a genuine person. He was a loving person. He was a father first.
Again, Talib is still not in custody tonight. He does have a criminal history. Back in March, he accepted a plea bargain for an assault charge back in 2017. And then in June, just a few months ago, he was picked up in Plano for unlawful possession of a firearm. Now, I reached out to Talib's attorney, who confirms he represented Talib in the past. He says he has no comment. He would not tell me if Talib has reached out to him.
So what I'm going to do is this. Mike Hickman, 43, was shot and killed Saturday after an argument at the Dragons game in Lancaster, according to police and medical officials. County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed he died at the hospital Saturday evening. All right. He was one of the better youth coaches in the state of Texas by far. Jackson stated, so many of these youth coaches are just coaching to say they coach, but they don't have extensive knowledge of the game. Mike actually does. His former UNT teammates said family and football were most important to him. He combined those two passions by coaching his 9-year-old son, Mike Hickman II, on the DEA Dragons Youth Football League. So he was obviously a very beloved member of the community. Very beloved.
Yes.
So let's kind of recap how our conversation went earlier today when we discussed it. Because you had some questions. You know, Andrea got questions. I'm going to go off cam for a second. You know, Andrea got questions. So I want you to talk about some of the questions. So, because we had one of those conversations that we should have recorded, right?
Yes.
I want you to talk about some of the questions that you have related to that case.
Should have hold on a minute. I guess I scratched my arm and made it bleed, but okay. Okay. Should the question I was asking, is she carry a arm weapon to a little league, to a football game? That's the question I was asking, But the rule is in Texas, it's a carry state. Okay, so I guess you can. It doesn't. Yes, you can. So.
Oh, that's interesting. You see how understanding you are now? I knew I should have had you have some record.
Was I? No, I got a little more action around here right now, but I'm here. But no, I'm still a little irritated by that. I feel like I'm standing on what I said to you today, so I ain't gonna change my story. I'm standing on what I said. I still don't believe it should be at a little league game, but at the same time, people do have a right to defend their family. People do have a right. If the state say you can carry, you can carry. What can I say?
So, all right. So let me say this, and this kind of leans back to the argument that I was making earlier.
Yes.
This was my argument. One, which you beautifully referenced because you thought that was going to be the only way I was going to be coming from, right? About the fact that Texas is a carry state.
Yes.
And you do have the ability to carry in almost any place, including college campuses in the state of Texas. Some people would say, why would people want to even think about carrying at a college campus? Why would, pardon my neighbor's dogs, why would somebody want to carry to a church? Why would somebody want to carry to a park? Here's a kicker. Back in the days, in the era that I came from, people used to wonder, why the hell would somebody want to carry a weapon to a school? Now look where we are. Several years ago on a baseball field, some congressional candidates and members of Congress or members of the Senate were playing baseball, one of their league games that they had. Somebody jumped onto the field and started firing. You had what took place at Sandy Hook. You had what took place with Dylan Roof in the church. You have people spraying up churches, people spraying up schools. Columbine was years and years ago. But now, you look at this time now.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the video of how long it took the police to actually tactically respond inside of the school and at Uvalde, to the extent where there was a parent that ran through and ran inside the building. It was a parent. So there was a lot of backlash about how long it took the police to decide to go into the building. It was a whole lot of it. So now, all of a sudden now, I'm supposed to trust who? The referees at a game? There was no police there. I'm supposed to trust the referees at a Little League game, at a Pee Wee football game. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about that. So pretty much, I think that there's a lot to it. So while Andrea is doing that, what I want to do is talk about the things that make us feel certain ways. I want to talk about why is it that we choose to use our own emotion to exact what we consider justice on other people. It's not something that anybody has to answer right now, but it's a real question. Why do our emotions require us to exact external justice upon others? But let me jump to the chat and see who we have in the spot. Death Mage Javon, what's going on? I see you here. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Erin Laura, what's up? Thank you for coming back through. Oh, I didn't even see you, Ty. Miss Ty. Red lipstick vibes in the house. Mickey, what up? What's popping with you? Thanks for coming through. What up, cuz? I see you. I wonder if you're watching on delay or if you're in the present right now. I want to play something else. I want to talk about this case too. See. You all right over there?
Yes, I must have scratched my arm. And he guys.
No, you're gonna need a paramedic, yo.
I got it. The kids helped me. I got it. So good. But it is sad, okay. But I guess if you're in Texas, you can carry, the state said, you have a right to protect yourself at the end of the day, and protect your children too. So who am I to say he shouldn't? It's never been one there. I probably, if I live in Texas, I probably want to be carrying it too, protect my family. So, but I can't stand Victor Freeze, but I guess I'm gonna be like, I need more information.
I mean, listen. So I'll say this. Here's one thing, and what I did was, I'm not the snitch and I'm not the guy that wears the wire, but damn, man, I might have to record it because he was like, I mean, come on, who would really do that? And then so I said, yo, let me just ask you some questions. And I was like, first thing I said, question. I was like, do you think that he actually went and was trying to hit the coach? And you said what?
No, I don't think he was trying to hit the coach. I don't even think the coach
And
was
then, right, because the coach was not involved, right?
involved. Yes, but
Right.
but a straight bullet can hit anybody, and I always tell my kids a bullet don't got a name.
Right. I got you 100%. But the thing is, so what that means is that his death was not intentional.
No.
Right. All right. Cool. So we got that piece out of the way. We understand his death was not intentional.
Yes.
Now, we do understand that there was a brawl that broke out.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was.
You even saw parts of the brawl break out.
Yes.
Those were not children brawling. Those were grown men brawling.
True.
Do you think that at some point this person was potentially scared?
Yeah. It could have happened.
Another thing, he was one of the coaches there. Somebody else that was there with him was a celebrity, which was his brother, Akeem Talib, right?
Right.
Sometimes when you have somebody that may be famous, you know, I know that with some of my friends that are famous, some of our friends that are not may move a little more overzealously to protect them.
True.
You know, be a little rough with people that's just trying to show love.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. I'm not stating that took place. All I'm stating is that I need to get a little more information. I need a little bit more due process to figure out motive.
And before you rush to judgment and convict
Yeah.
and try a man that might be completely just innocent.
I need to know a couple of precipitating factors. I need to kind of figure out how did it escalate? Because a lot of times when things take place, there's no set cadence or rhythm for escalation. Sometimes it could go from here, you know,
to zero.
0 to 100 real quick. We don't. Go ahead.
And the factor is, just be honest and tell the truth. Some of us are living through our children and don't know how to conflict a resolution. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, when we say live through our children, because according to the news, he was also a coach. I'm assuming on the other side. But when it comes to a sport, and I played football, when it comes to a sport like football,
mm-hmm.
in order to succeed within that realm of football, there's a high understood and desired degree of violence.
True.
Playing football, right? Playing football is not diplomacy. Diplomacy is leveling conversation and articulation in words in order to elicit a desired, goal without leveling violence. There's always a slight threat of violence. Football, before the game, banging the lockers, banging on ourselves, banging against each other, trying to get ourselves hyped up. We welcome that violence. We welcome that aggression. We tune ourselves up before the games. We're not talking no conflict resolution shit. We're trying to crack some heads.
But isn't you got young kids there, and you got older men who's not no conflict of resolution, and then you got the young kids. So what you teaching them then? So what I always thought the reason my son was in football was to learn play with other children, learn to exercise, learn to play the game, learn how to be a team player. Isn't that what you want them to be learning? And so
no. That's what the moms want them to learn.
Oh, that's what the mom wants them to learn.
Watch this. What if I told you that the dads want them to learn some of that stuff, but they want them to learn how to be tough. They want them to learn how to take a hit. They want them to learn aggression. They want them to learn that hunger, that desire to win. They want them to know how to knock a motherfucker down. It's not just about the other stuff, playing well with others, understanding the needs for rules and hierarchies, and understanding, the winning spirit. Sometimes it's about violence and understanding it, not necessarily drinking it up, but understanding it and being able to understand. Just like when we did the fatherhood sip, talking about violence. Football is an extremely violent sport. It's an extremely violent sport. So for me,
when do you start? So yes, it's a violent sport. Yes, but it's a young youth football game. So when do you learn grown men to have a level of understanding? And if you feel like the game wasn't right, just to let it go.
Right. But see, who are you speaking that towards? The men where the altercation started, or with the person who did the shooting?
How about with both?
No, I'm asking you who. And how about I'm asking you which one were you talking about?
I'm just saying I'm just in the turn of this field and the term of this conversation. How about both? Because it happens. This ain't the first time this is happening. This is happening more often. So what I'm saying is to have a level of understanding is it's a game. Somebody wins, somebody lost. We move on to the next.
Mm-hmm. Right. So the reason I said who were you referring to?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of what ifs. We need more information, right?
Yes.
So what if he was being attacked? What if he was scared?
True.
Right. So now, what do you say to somebody who's scared about getting their ass whipped? About what should have taken place before? Or are you going to tell them about trying to defend themselves? What if he doesn't know how to fight?
Okay.
What if whoever started the altercation, you had one of the dudes that most people was thinking started the altercation, the one that had the football in his hand that was running up on the ref's face, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not the person who fired the weapon.
No, it's not.
There was a brawl that took place.
Yes.
Watch this. What position did he fire the weapon from? Did he fire from a standing position? Was it point blank range? Or did he fire from a crouching position? Was he on his back with people attempting to attack him when he fired? Was he firing up? You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of questions. What if he was a victim?
Yes, but we ain't gonna know until all the evidence in the coroner show where that bullet hit. So we won't know until then.
So now the question:
I don't have an expert in shooting, and I don't have an expert in all them questions because I'm not a gun owner, so I wouldn't know them. Just saying.
That was whack. It was like
I'm being honest. I'm being a professional.
You ain't a ballistics expert.
Tell me obviously you an expert in gun owners because you asking all the questions that a gun owner would probably know.
That's not those questions that I ask is not even something that a gun owner would ask. Those are questions that you would want to know. Those are questions that when they go through legal cases and shootings, they check bullet trajectories. They see, or they look at video. They'll see, was he on his back? Was he standing? What position was he in? That makes a difference. Was he being assaulted? Did somebody kick him in the head? Did he feel that there was a threat? Because in actuality, in order for him to get off, all he has to prove is that he saw a threat.
True.
So the point is, it becomes bigger than our internal platitudes that state, well, it don't make no sense to do such and such. There's been shootings that had taken place at children's games, at different games, at basketball courts that's come out in the last year. A lot of them have taken place. So why wouldn't a parent who's going to be at a game that's not going to be protected by a police force, why would they not want to have a pistol? It makes a lot of sense. They're putting pistols in the churches. They're putting pistols in the schools for the teachers. We see that the police weren't even able to get into the school or chose not to. So when we start, because one of the things that's important, and maybe that's, I don't want to call it a rabbit hole, but one of my underlying thoughts. The gun. There's a lot of people that are attributing specific behavior or activity to the gun. It's not a fair comparison. It's not a fair comparison. Oh, well, they don't, guns are illegal in the UK, and you see, they don't have as many, they don't have going on, blah, blah, blah. I say, yeah, but they got a lot more stabbings. Wrong is wrong, and wrong will manifest itself, whether it's something you wear on your hip, something that's a switchblade, something that you throw, something that you drive, baseball bat, pickaxe, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I just get nervous about when it comes to the guns and our ability to protect ourselves. I don't think there's anything wrong that if somebody is somewhere where their children are, or they have the responsibility for the protection of children, that they shouldn't have the same option to protect themselves as everyone else in that state.
True. I do agree with that. I do agree with that. And I don't think gun make people violent. I say people are just violent. Period.
Look what Derek just said. Peace, Derek C. Williams, my guy. What do you think about that?
Axel Hammer attacked it. Attacked it with the Taliban in UK. I mean, things can be different weapons, so it ain't just guns. It's other things can be weapons too. And look at that. So
I know some chicks in the hood. They lethal at biting people.
Yeah. So it ain't just. I don't think guns make people violent. I think people are just violent. Guns had it. Excuse me. Hold on 1 minute.
Take your time. So I'm going to try to say what Andrea's saying. Well, Chef, I don't think guns make people violent. I think people make people violent. I'm just saying, asking a question. I'm just asking a question. Oh, there you go. Oh, she, look, we actually don't need you anymore. I think I'm a good enough Andrea for this one. All I'm gonna say is, yes, you're right, Chef.
I think people are just violent. So guns is just an added layer to it. So I don't think people are just violent. But I do wonder.
When you say you wanted to talk to me about that,
I do wonder, is the youth football and the dads who are over resilient, living through their sons, sometimes go over the edge. Now, was I one of them moms? I love football, so I'm kind of like a little different than the average football mom. They just there to make sure they kid put their uniform on. I'm ready there to have a little violence my own self. Okay, with my son. But the thing is, it's just a game. I do understand that, and when we off that field, we back to reality. And so I'm just saying, they don't know how to turn it off.
Okay. Let me just say defamation of honor. Say UK does not have a gun ban. Their laws are just more restricted. I have friends who live there. Yes, so I'm very familiar with UK gun law, Javon. So when we say gun ban, there's certain laws that are put into place in certain ways that the laws are leveraged and the specific verbiage that is used that makes it a ban. Why? If a new type of gun has to be manufactured in order to fall under those lines to order it, to own it, that's pretty much a ban of the existing weaponry. In terms of small arms, the most loose that they are is with rifles or shotguns, right? But in terms of small arms, there's going to be majority of the pistols that we have, some of the automatic weapons that we have, revolvers, muzzle-loaded weapons, are not legal. Some of the guns you're going to be able to find out there are going to be ones that are not able to be concealed as well. Super long barrel on a revolver. But it works out pretty much to a ban. Right. Greetings and salutations. Well, yes, a total ban is inaccurate. I never stated total ban now. I have to go back and state I never said there was a total ban, but there definitely is a firearm ban in the UK specific to specific weapons. Right. So now, Andrea.
Yes.
So what do you think? I mean, because we're going to come back to this topic. I don't want to just leave it where it stands.
No, I.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Dev Mays. Sorry. I talk slow like this on the show because I try to parse my words. So I'm like, hey, I didn't say that. It was the comments. I apologize.
No,
it was I didn't do it in me. Go ahead.
I do think the question that and today I thought about it while I was driving, taking my daughter to get her hair done for school on Thursday. School starts on Thursday out here, but I thought about it, and my son did play youth football and shoot Pop Warner for a shoot since he was 6 until he was we finished high school. They play high school, but the thing is, I did see some of the parents act a fool. I did see some of the parents living through their kids, and the whole point is the kids being on the team is to learn some valuable lessons. And are we forgetting that? Isn't that the number one goal? Isn't that the number one goal? And then you got grown men who out here arguing while the kids are watching. So what we teaching the kids then?
That's a great question.
And I'm sorry, I feel like some of these grown men didn't living through their kids because they wasn't able to make it to the NFL. They weren't able to live their dream out. They weren't able to do all that. And I'm just sorry. Okay, well, it ain't your turn no more. You a parent now. Just be on the sideline, cheer and congratulate your son or daughter, whatever.
But what if it's not even about that? What if it's just hard for them to see, what if it's just hard for them to see their kid take a hard hit?
And the one mistake that I made in my son playing football, I will never forget that mistake. He took a hit, or a hard one. And when he came out that field, I was like, man up. I was like, man up. I so did. And that's the one mistake I made, him playing playing football, because the reason I told him man up, but 2 years later he tore his ACL, and he played on that ACL, tore that ACL and finished playing that game.
Well, and you think that he just kept hearing "man up" in the back of his mind.
Yes, and I'm like, he had to miss a whole season of football, and I'm like, oh my God, and I think that played in when he lost his job, and when he tell me, I had to figure out he lost his job, and I was like, oh, come home, I want to talk to you. I think I pushed him that far that he didn't. I had to figure out what happened to him instead of he coming home telling me. And that's when I told him. Then I realized that I play a part in him not communicating.
All right, so let's talk now. Let's talk.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that you did show in terms of what you just stated was you believe that there's power in those moments that you have with your kids.
Yes.
Those are the times that you push messages to their brain.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Those messages, but then as we grow and we have more children, we understand, we start to recognize, damn, where we might have been off with those messages.
Yes.
You know, it's kind of like that chicken or that steak you thought you were going to season a certain way, and you had it with this season and that season of onion powder and all of these different things. And then when you got to taste it, it was like, it don't really taste right.
Mm-hmm.
I knew where I was going, but it wasn't supposed to taste like this. We have those moments, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Imagine a moment. And remember, we don't have all of the facts over this situation here. Part of this is just in terms of us understanding the judgment that we rush to.
Yeah.
You know what it looks like for a child to see their father get his ass kicked? I'm just saying. You know, it's hard for a child to see their father lose their life, but there's a reason I'm asking that.
Mm-mm.
We don't know what was going on in this man's head. And even the fact that he had been arrested previously for illegally possessing a handgun.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't mean that you're a felon that can't possess a handgun. When it's illegal for you to possess a handgun, for instance, before new laws were enacted in the state of Georgia, if you didn't have a concealed carry permit, it was illegal for you to carry a weapon, a sidearm, a pistol, concealed. You couldn't have it concealed. It was not illegal for you to wear it on a holster outside of your shirt where it could be visible. That's not illegal. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, somebody could walk with a pistol in a holster and might scare people. But if you keep it tucked away without a permit in the state of Georgia, it's illegal. So if you would have gotten, say, pulled over, or the police stopped you and they frisked you and they saw you had the pistol on you, they wouldn't arrest you. What they would do first is to ask you if you have a permit.
Yes.
Ask you for your permit, they'll check and run you. You don't have the permit, they can arrest you, or they can give you a ticket. They can arrest you or they can give you the ticket. But the thing is, that's illegal possession of the firearm because of the fact that the way that you carried it and concealed it did not comply with the law. So it still doesn't, when they use that, because they always try to use certain news and throw certain news out there, to make you feel a certain way. So it still doesn't tell me what took place. What I do know was someone died.
Yes.
And at this point, he was the shooter. What you got?
I'm sad that somebody lost their life. sad that somebody, a father, a husband, and another man won't be here to help raise his children. That's what makes me sad. But hopefully that family can get some help. Hopefully them kids that he was coaching can get some help, because you don't know what them boys could be. It could be angry, disappointed. And I hope them families get them kids some therapy to work through them issues they have. And probably that man was probably a coach to other boys who didn't have a father around. So I'm hoping and I'm praying that all them boys get some therapy, get some help, so they won't become angry black men and disappointed, and have some conflict resolution.
Conflict resolution is something that we speak about.
Yes.
But it's I'm not the best at conflict resolution, because I recognize that in certain situations, there's been situations where I could have potentially spazzed. Oh, Beyonce said we can't use spaz no more. So I would have potentially bugged out, blacked out, wild out, got buck wild.
Yes.
We all have some of that, fire started in us.
Yes.
It's natural. The amount of the fire that you can start is based on nature versus nurture.
That is true.
If you've never been in a fight before, then you would not notice when a fight is about to pop off. If you never got sucker punched before, you don't know the signs to look for. If you never got jumped before, that's funny. Somebody just went live, and the name of that live stream is Conflict Resolution.
Let me ask you a question, because we tell our kids this right here: when you have an encounter with the police, you can it ain't that serious. Go ahead and do what they're asking, because you can have another day. We tell our kids that, don't we?
You don't want teaching them how to de-escalate.
Yes, we tell our kids, take the ticket, go on, and just come back home. So I'm just if we telling our kids about when encounter with the police and come back home, should we just say this when you go into a bad football game? I'm just asking some questions now, because now us black mothers are talking to our sons about, you get a ticket, ask them, when they ask you to do something, you do it. We just want you to come home to us. So the level of the conversation is the same with this one, or are you saying it's a different conversation?
Yeah, there's levels to the conversation, because, of course, there's one thing when you deal with motherly fear.
Yes.
Maternal fear. We recognize that exists. So maternal fear is going to go against everything to make sure that mama's baby comes home. That make sure that mama's baby is safe and mama's baby comes home. That's the maternal fear. But by the same token, when you see certain people that are online and on YouTube and all of that, the police auditors, the police watchers, the ones that make sure when the police pull up, they say, no, I don't talk. I don't answer questions. No, I don't have to show you my driver's license because I'm not suspected of a crime. Well, you look suspicious. Well, suspicion is not a crime. There has to be certain people that will tell somebody when they're wrong, because if not, tyranny would ensue. So you don't think Malcolm X mama, Martin mama, Medgar Evers mama, Gandhi's mama, JFK's mama, different people who may have been taken out while within the furtherance of their goal or their mission. You don't think their mamas just wish they just took a day job at the post office, 9 to 5?
Of course, their mamas probably did, and I bet you they probably had the conversation with them. But I bet you the men told their mamas they had a purpose and a goal, and they wanted the world to see a better place. And
yeah, but the thing is, we're talking about those people that will speak up when something's wrong.
True.
Diplomacy is not something that every type of common man is that they use. A diplomat, a regular guy gets punched in the nose and he's looking for the other guy. He's winding up so he could punch somebody back. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
A diplomat is a person that will get punched in the nose and still be willing to talk it out, even if he knows he could destroy that other person. Because understanding having that person alive as an ally means more than just having them destroyed. You know? So, give me 1 second.
I mean, I can agree with that.
All right. So, here's what I'm going to do.
It's the sad part about it. I'm probably sure. You know what? I'm probably sure as a mother, I would have that same conversation with my kids. As a mother, if my son was like Malcolm, Martin, JFK, I probably just beg my son not to do it. But the same time is knowing my son, he probably say, "Mama, this is what I like to do."
So, what I say is this. In terms of this particular conversation, no matter what, you know, I wish peace, love, and light, understanding, strength, you know, to the Hickman family. Because, you know, Mike Hickman was obviously a great person within the community. And his life should not have been lost. In the grand scheme of things, his life should not have been lost at all. But what I will not do, with me understanding and leveraging those level of emotions, what I will not do is immediately seek to soothe those negative emotions with the destruction of another man until I understand that that other man is truly worthy of that destruction. Everybody is owed due process. So I need more information.
Your friend Victor Freeze would love with that.
I know he over there. He looking at, hey, look at Chef. See that kid?
He would love that we said we need some more information.
Day one. I see you. What up, Quantum?
He would love that. He could say he needs some more information.
You need more information.
Shout out to Victor Freeze for saying he need more information.
All right, I got one clip. This qualifies under my dumb shit. I haven't given y'all a dumb shit segment in a minute, so y'all ain't have dumb shit in a minute. So here you go.
Shit, dumb shit, dumb shit, dumb, dumb, dumb. Ooh.
Nah, she wanna know if she look like Beyonce. Does she look like Beyonce?
To the left, to the left. To the left, to the left. To the left, to the left. No, not Beyonce. Who? Serena Williams? No, not Serena. Not Serena Williams. You just unique. You should call yourself unique. Oh, really? Yeah, careful with what I said on that one. God damn, that nigga voice was deeper than mine. Do I look like Beyonce? Shit. Nigga, I had to hurry up and think of some cool shit to say. I wanted to say Westbrook, but then, nah, that nigga look a little bit too strong.
You stupid.
Thank you. Thank you for joining that segment of Dumb Shit.
Shit, dumb shit, dumb shit. Dumb, dumb, dumb.
See, I hit that note at the end.
What's that you trying to say? He was trying not to say anything because he was like,
You know what he was? Look, and he was like, you don't look like Beyonce, and dude like to the left, to the left. And then he said, I was finna say Michael Westbrook. Yeah. So listen, see, everybody can't operate with that sense of diplomacy, man.
True.
Everybody can't, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. Let's see. Let's see what Yaqub Talib got, what his argument is, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we need that.
In order to get off, though, all he would have to prove is that he was scared.
Yes.
And that would pretty much be manslaughter. You know. So before we start talking about sentences, let's just keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make sense. That man practiced what his mom taught him. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
Oh.
Right.
That's true. Shout out to my ex-husband. He used to tell me that all the time.
Oh, yeah. That's just a nice way of telling you to shut up.
Well, he said, you ain't got nothing nice to say. Don't say nothing at all.
Basically, he thought you ain't had nothing nice to say, so he just was trying to tell you to shut up.
I didn't pay attention, okay?
You sure don't.
Shut up.
Word up. Well, listen, y'all. So let's do this. We got another one here. Let me talk about this one. But before we do that, it's very important. You know, I want to. We had a beautiful guest that joined my show the other day. It's a beautiful guest that joined my show the other day, and I was proud because it was my lady, it was my fiance, and you know I normally keep her hidden from y'all, you know, but she wanted to share about how she shows me love, you know, so I want to share it with y'all. Once again, thank you, baby, for everything that you do and the testament that you are, and the fact that you want to let the world know how you love me. I love you back, baby.
Jasmine, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I know you're a submissive wife.
Absolutely.
Now, what does that mean exactly? What do you do?
Everything.
What does that mean? What is everything?
I do everything for my man.
Okay.
It's a pleasure for me. I pack his bags.
Okay.
I unpack his bags. I cook for him.
Okay.
I wash his body. I don't only wash his clothes, I wash his body. Okay. Hospital style every night. He doesn't even get in the shower. It's too dangerous.
Is he sick?
I lay him on a big old long bedpan and I wash him with soap and water every night.
Is he
my
incapable?
husband doesn't even pee on his own. He has a catheter that goes to my bladder and I pee for him.
Is that healthy?
And sometimes I do little tests on the pee to make sure he's still healthy because I don't need my man spending time, wasting time peeing on his own.
Okay.
He doesn't even poop on his own. He poops into my hand.
Oh no.
I inspect it. Then I use it for fertilizer in our garden, and I come back, and he stays in the big position while I run to the back house and I run back and I wipe his ass for him.
That's gross.
Okay, because a true submissive woman doesn't have a man who wipes his own ass.
Okay, I don't
know. Why would I do that?
I don't think I want to be that.
I breathe for my man. We have a special breathing machine at night.
What the
We
hell?
hook it up to his lungs and my lungs. I almost die every night making sure that he can breathe.
Risking your life?
Because I don't need his lungs doing no work. I need his lungs to work and make money, and that's it. That's all he needs to do.
Are you okay?
And I almost die every night making sure that he can breathe. I pay his child support.
Are you mad or?
Because I don't need him worrying. I communicate with all of his baby mothers paying his child support. You know why?
How many phones do you have?
I want my man to be free.
Oh.
And you know what I would do? I would sacrifice my own everything, my breath.
That's my baby.
Sanity.
You need help.
I'm
You
not
have.
crying right now. These are tears of strength.
Okay.
That's my princess. My helpmate.
She doing too much. Okay.
No, that's what you calling her a pick-me now? She's doing too much?
Doing too much. You gotta breathe for him, really. The pooping is nasty, okay? It's nasty.
Listen. Look.
Nasty.
Listen, man. This is the era of freaking R. Kelly. She ain't trying to pee on me. She trying to pee for me. That got to be somewhat admirable. Don't mind me. The mind of a madman.
A little too much, okay?
Don't you talk about my woman, Derek.
For real.
Yeah. So I have a catheter, but there's been some technological advances. So, I'll be able to do it by Bluetooth wirelessly. All right. Of course, the guy who had a scrub suit, he's gonna come with the medicals. If you're sick, I totally get it, but the catheter goes in her. Yeah, no, Jeeves, that's not a thing. What's up, Miss Lackey? What's going on with you? I'm just over here chatting it up with the homie, Hey, my guy, absolutely. Absalom Bianchi TV, otherwise known as APTV. My guy, check him out. Awesome content creator.
Yes.
Gets the day started. Real talk. All right. Ms. Lackey, who else we got? Gastonia, are you in the Carolinas? I gotta pass Gastonia every time I drive up to New York. Look, Absalom said, he said, we need more women like her. Oh God.
Need more women like her. That's a little too much. That's a little too much.
Yeah, but if your son brought her home, you'd be like, now, son, you ain't gonna find nothing like that no more. I'm telling you, you ain't gonna find that with these modern women. I'm just telling you. Where you think you're gonna find some women like that? I'm just asking questions. Where you gonna find a woman like that?
I'm just
me.
My son can do something. My son can do something. He don't need to like that. Good gracious, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
What's funny is, when moms are trying to tell you something strong and they don't scream, they're like, gonna go find another woman like that now. You let that girl get away. You hear me? That kind of, like the old slave talk was like, don't let Master know you could read now. He gonna whoop you.
That's true. That's true.
So wait. That's an oxymoron. I'm all for submission, but that's too much. That just negated it. So I'm all for submission, but it's too much.
Yeah, it's too much. That's too much. Good gracious. He need all that done.
Listen. Mr. O will tell you that's a high value woman right there.
Oh Lord.
Peace, Mr. O.
The high value woman right there.
Houston's finest on the block. So we're gonna talk about something else now.
Okay.
Normally, I don't always talk certain topics. Oh, wait. Derry said, will a woman submit for the right price? And if she does submit for a price, can we call it submission? Interesting. Do I still have...
He said for the right price?
For the right price.
For the right price.
He said what he said.
The right price. Depends on what her price is. It depends on how she feeling about it. Is it the right price what she would submit? Is it the right price of what he gonna give her? Is it the right price of I don't know.
Depends on the right price of what he was gonna give her. If I want to walk in and get a 120-inch, QTV dope shit from the Best Buy, is the right price the price I want to give them? I'm getting them $80. It doesn't mean it's the right price. It's the price that you'll accept, right?
That's true.
So if you look, I want you to look closely at the question that he's asking. Will a woman submit for the right price? I'm thinking means let's say if a woman would submit for the right price, if she does, can we call it submission? Is it really submission?
Or is she willing to? I don't think. Is that submission? It depends on what. It depends on who's looking at it in what terms. Because I can say that is. I get remarried. My husband said, "Look, I need this, and this, and this. Can you do this?" And then I'm like, "No, I'm not really want to do that." But he was like, "Well, if I do this for you and do this for you and do this, then I might."
But is that submission? That's not submission. That's a transaction.
That's a transaction.
Right. That's not submission.
That's submission.
Right. That means that in order for you to be a certain way, he would have to pay for it. That's not real submission.
Submission is what you and submission is what I understand. Submission is you got to trust that person. So you got to be able to trust the person you're going to submit to. So the difference levels to this.
So I'll say this. If your submission comes with a specific price,
okay,
that you're requesting, then it's not
submission.
It's not really submission. It's quid pro quo. It's a transaction. And some would like to say it. I know the angle that he may be traveling through is there's women that sell their body.
Okay.
There's women that sell their body. You know what I mean? Is that submission?
No, that's called prostitution.
Exactly. I got you to say it. Exactly.
Wait.
Well, see, because you ain't paying attention. I see you busy in the background. I know you're a new grandma, but see, that's why I'm catching you at the zingers. You make your ass pay attention tonight. Come in the zingers.
I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, man. I'm playing my
Yeah, you said it.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Will a woman submit for the right price? And if she does submit for a price, can we call it submission?
I call that prostitution. Now hold on a minute. Maybe 1 minute.
See? Hold on a second, though. And please bear with Andrea. She has a brand new live baby, not even 7 days old in the crib. So we build this plane as we fly it. You know what I mean? And so we're going to have to give our girls some grace. Let me see what else you have. All right, Death Mage Devon says she's trying to be your mom, not your wife. Hey, Mr. Talilo. Well, pay the right admission, you get submission. Exactly. And speaking of that, I want to bring up the show that we did a few days ago called, let me take this comment off the screen, called The Debate Submission Live.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. And we had a great conversation about aspects of submission, what's considered submission, if it's owed, if it's deserved, if it's something earned. So please go to my page and check out that one. It was definitely an awesome conversation. And I'm not just saying it because I was running my mouth. It was an awesome conversation.
Yeah, but if that's called prostitution, so that's paying for it. And if submission, if you're gonna submit to your husband, that is something you want to do because you trust him. He's gonna protect, provide. You got trust for him. He's gonna worry about your well-being, the kids, all of that. So you're gonna submit because you trust that he's gonna worry about just not only him, the whole entire family.
Would you submit to a man that makes $18,000 a year?
$18,000 a year. I don't know. I might.
Your lying ass. Look, the first part of the name of this goddamn show says truth, yo. Please, you don't fuck up the bread. You don't mess up the bread. You lying to these people, yo.
I probably would submit. Yes. But I mean, I want to go.
A man making $18,000. You realize that they can. I just showed the episode, the submission show. I don't want to be like Derek telling them, "Yo, go watch that show." Right? I just put up the thumbnail for the last one. So you saying that now? You saying you would submit to a man that makes $18,000 a year?
Look, it's not all about the money for me. As long as he's good and he's gonna be right to me and the kids. And y'all think it's all about the money. It's other things too. So is money an aspect of is it one component of the situation? Yes, it is. But it's more than just money. It's all the things that he's providing for the family and the kids and me. And remember, Andrea Lynch works too. Did you forget about that? Huh? Did you forget about that? I work 2 jobs.
I don't know, yo. I don't see that energy that you had when we was talking the submission thing. Because you was talking about plumbers, electricians, garbage men, and all of that. And I'm like,
I would
those men damn near make $100,000 a year.
Yeah, but
so I just said 18,000.
At the end of the day,
Let me help you out.
Y'all think it's all about the money. You don't hear what we're saying. You miss the words that come out of our mouth. Yes, is it good that he makes good money? You damn right. I'm not including that. But what I'm saying is, it's the whole situation. Do I trust him that he's gonna take care of me and the kids and look out for our best interest? If I'm gonna submit to a man, I got to have trust go a long way.
Trust. Mm-hmm. Watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Bi-weekly pay periods. Make believe he don't take any vacation. Alexa, divide 18,000 by 26.
18,000 divided by 26 is approximately 692.3077.
Per paycheck, my friend. That's less than $1,400 a month, my friend.
Then you would call me a gold digger, then.
See? Okay, so you see what you just did there?
What?
You didn't even answer. What you did was gave me an excuse for why you were not 100% forthcoming a moment ago. And you just said, well, because you were gonna call me a gold digger, Chef. I don't want to be called a gold digger. That ain't right. You know that's gonna hurt my feelings.
I just saying, but y'all think women all just look for a man and about his money. I think personally men lead with their money.
Why?
Because that's how you feel like you got power. How you feel like
why?
Why you lead?
Why? Watch this, Andrea.
Uh-huh.
Freddie that makes $18,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny that makes $50,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Mikey that makes $100,000 a year. And Mario that make $2 million a year. 10 women. Do you think Freddie, the first one, did I say Freddie? I think I said Freddie. Do you think the first one, you think he would get any votes? If they told those women they had to take 2 votes. Pick 2 out of those 4.
No.
So you saying that it don't count? It does count. Why do men lead with money? The same way y'all say, and it's funny why I say that you lead, you got the feminine defense chip. When men talk about the BBLs,
mm-hmm.
the BBLs and and the breast lifts and all of that stuff.
Yes.
And when we speak to it, or men speak to it negatively, what is one of the excuses used? Oh, we do it for y'all.
Yes, somebody have
we do it for y'all because y'all be liking those IG models. So we do it for y'all. So what you're stating is that you guys will literally go and do an invasive surgery to your bodies in order to do it for men. Mm-hmm. Men that you actually don't know, because you ain't doing it for the ones you do know, because the ones you do know already know that you got that your back, it ain't the thick, it's the flat, right? So okay. They already know that.
Okay.
So it's for the ones you're doing it for, men you haven't even met.
Okay.
So when you say, oh, men do it because why do men feel like they have to lead with it? We remember we had a whole conversation about the laws of the jungles, the deers and their antlers, the biggest antlers. And when you see the moose and the deers going and running and crashing to each other, and the rams and all of these different weird things that go on during mating season. It's the posture for the admiration of that potential mating partner, which is the woman, which is the feminine of that species.
Okay.
Here, running track doesn't feed us. So somebody with resources who can afford restaurants and Uber Eats every day and blah, 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 those resources feed women.
True.
So that's the way they flex. We don't run on mating season in the spring. The men don't run and they go crash into each other and bang our heads together and do all kind of weird shit and go and piss on trees and, rub our ass on walls and stuff to leave our scents. And we don't do that. Because we're in a sophisticated society.
True.
So what we do is our antlers that show our strength, our lion's mane that shows our strength. It's the wallet. It's the wallet. And we understand that your species is hypergamous. You want to have children. You want to do different things. You may not want to work to provide, for the family. But you understand a man that has a high degree of resources, you'd be able to stay home. You can have 14 children. So when you ask a question like, why would men lead with money? Because they know how to get you.
Okay, but then it's some men that I know or get mad because the women are only acting them for their money. Y'all, it's like y'all we in catch-22. We damn we do and we damn we don't.
No, you won't be damned at all if you want broke dudes. If you want broke dudes, then guess what? You probably be in a better situation because the broke niggas the rich niggas will start acting broke. And you might sneak a rich one in there when you're looking for the broke guys. But ain't none of y'all looking for broke. Excuse me. Y'all looking for extraordinary. And the way life works, the way numbers work, average or the mean or the median
Now you
It's
sound like
always more than extraordinary.
now you sound like your friend Kevin Samuels. Shout out to Kevin Samuels because now you sound like him.
Listen, but
Mhm.
that's that part right there that I said is just pure mathematics. It's
Mhm.
just pure math, you know. But let me see what we got here.
I'm just saying, you know.
Derek, doesn't all submission come for a price? If he pays the mortgage, groceries, internet, then he's still paying. But
Hmm.
Aaron Laura, the woman still has no say.
You
Vic
assume
said
she has
submit
no.
to the bag.
You was you assume she has no say. You know, let me tell you something. I believe this. The best couples are having pillow talk at night. If her husband is paying all the bills, doing everything, and taking care of the family, she gonna definitely submit because he working. And they having pillow talk. He gonna say what he needs from her, and she ain't gonna have a problem that he protecting, providing. He's doing everything for the family, even taking them on a vacation.
So then the one that can't do it, he doesn't deserve it. Is that what you're saying?
The man who's not the man who's not what protecting, providing, and providing and taking care of the family.
Leave the protecting out of there.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
there's rich men that are not able to protect,
Okay.
right? So that protection part,
Mhm.
there's emotional protection, mental protection, physical protection. So I don't want to run us down that quandary, but let's say to provide.
Okay.
The provide part.
Uh-huh.
There's a part of this thing when we talk about prophet, priest, king,
Yeah.
protector, provider.
Uh-huh.
Some people forget the prophet part.
True.
Normally, there's a lot of prophets, but people don't call them prophets. They were just people. People call them people talking shit. Why? Because they did not agree with what that or believe in what that person was stating. Normally, you're called a prophet once somebody believes what you're stating and they trust what you're stating. A lot of prophet is not a title that you give to yourself.
Okay.
Prophet is a title that people bestow upon you because they believe in the words that you state. And many of them might say, the things that she said would occurred happened. The things she told me I should have done, I did, and it worked. So that's a title that I believe is bestowed upon you. So the prophet part. Don't no man who's the king of his damn household want to sit there and have to convince the person that he needs who's riding next to him. He's driving this shit. The prophet part is important.
Okay.
Because you talk about the protector. You can't protect yourself. So if he's your protector, that's his job. But if he's a prophet, in order for him to be a prophet, which is a part of his job, which makes him stronger, makes him more confident as a leader, is for you to listen. But the thing is, do y'all listen? Because I watched them videos where they talk about the sisters that, oh, but where's he gonna lead me? I'm gonna let him lead me into where? You know, he can't take them on vacation. He can't do such and such. But is he not a good man? Is he not somebody that could bring a high moral compass to the family? No. You know, we have different kinds of love now. They talk about love, hypergamous love, this love, struggle love, pick me love, simp love. What's funny is back in the day, in the previous generations, you know what damn all of them shits was just called?
Love.
Right.
Well, I think the problem is they don't want to work as hard as they used to. They want it easy. And being and submitting and being married, marriage is work. It's peaks and valleys. You have ups and downs. And sometimes people don't want to commit. They thinking, oh, it's gonna have roses and it's gonna be happy time, but sometimes it's not. And you gotta be willing to stay in the game until the end. And sometimes people are saying, I give up.
You heard the first thing that you said a second ago in that statement?
You gotta be willing to stay in the game.
Before that part, at the beginning of it.
Love. It was just love.
So people have to be willing to play the game. This new generation doesn't want to play the game.
Yeah, because they think
You don't want to play the game. You do. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. You know what? Hold on. I got to do this right. I got to do this right. I never did this before, but oh hell, I'm doing it now. Hold on 1 second.
Don't be no springing stuff on me, Chef. Don't even know how I feel about springing stuff on me.
Okay, here we go. I'm about to play back your words, right?
Okay.
And I want to address them. Mean love. What's funny is back in the day, in the previous generations, you know what damn all of them shits was just called?
Love.
Right.
Well, I think the problem is they don't want to work as hard as they used to. They want to ease. Yeah, I stand on what I said.
Okay. So now I'm about to drop this on your head. Give you 3 seconds to get a helmet. 2, 1. But you expect to have the same 40-year marriage as your parents.
No. I want that. I desire that. I just don't know it wasn't in my cards to be like that. I didn't find the right person for me.
In the cards.
Mm-hmm.
When you use terms like, and I like that nice try. I like when people use terms like
nice try.
When people use terms like in the cards, what you do is you take any responsibility or ownness off of your own personal movements, actions, decisions, inaction, and you just place it into the bosom of destiny. Which means that, yeah, I didn't fuck up. It was just that it wasn't meant for me. Even God don't tell you that works like that. He tells you have free will.
Mm-hmm. I had a part, but at the same time I'm looking for something different, and I will do it different this time around. I do understand that.
So if you can admit that you would do things differently this time around, then what it also means is that you recognize something that may not have been fully in line before, and it's okay. Yes. The thing is, we consistently learn, you know. Yes.
But sometimes you gotta go through some things to come on the other side and be better, and then you learn. You know, everybody ain't gonna be married for 40 years. We are willing that we be married like our parents, but sometimes people want to get it right, so they wait on the rate up. They wait, and sometimes you were young, you was dumb, you married and got kids, and sometimes you just do it a little different. It's okay, but at the same time, people was not willing to fight like their parents had. And I believe in my parents' case, divorce was not an option. Now divorce is an option. So you're like, I'm done with this. I'm out. So I think this new generation feels like divorce is an option. Our parents' divorce was not an option. It's like, we're gonna work this out. We're gonna see it through.
Let's throw this. I like what Aaron is saying. Wait, hold on 1 second, because our chat is banana.
They got something to say tonight, huh?
Deathmate says you submit for material things. You're a 304. Aaron said, Derek, oh yeah, I'm not disagreeing, just trying to determine what price is. Derek said, good question, Aaron. So the question is, how much is your pride worth? Does the woman swallow her pride because of the right price? I wonder. Derek, I don't want to say my bar is low, but probably not much. If he's a good man I want to be with, I ought to trust him with the things. I'm not all that prideful, though. Dope. Derek said, agreed. Aaron Laura agreed. Money and everything, but it's right up there with oxygen.
Money ain't everything, but it's right up to then you leading with his money. Then he's right, but like I said, he's leading with his money.
Andrea, with all the kids you got, you don't want no broke dude. You done said it on the last stream that you don't want no broke dude. So
I don't want a broke dude. But look,
so
it's a difference. Hold on a minute. It's a difference. I don't want a
so
broke.
what do you consider broke then?
Okay, no,
that's at $18,000 a year.
Okay, I don't want a broke dude, but I don't want the dude that I'm with thinking I'm just with him because he got money. I want him to know that
you can have one without the other.
Yes,
you see what you're doing? So watch this. Forget the rich guy. Forget that.
Yes.
Because the answer you keep giving is just saying that you don't want to answer a certain way because you don't want to potentially piss off the rich guys that may like you. Like, I don't want to diss the poor guys because there may be a rich guy watching, Chef. You got friends. And they, stand on your square, fam. Hold up. So look, if you would not deal with it, it's okay to say that. I would not deal with, you would not deal with a financially bankrupt man. That means he has nothing. He owes more than he has. He has nothing. He can't support his lifestyle as financially bankrupt.
Yes.
A man could say he would not deal with a morally bankrupt woman. It's all right to tell the truth. Can you potentially be judged by people based on the truths you tell? That's the way life is. You know what I mean? That's why I'm considered an asshole in a few different languages. It's part of life, though. But I'm that asshole, and that's who I am. And I'm going to speak to who I am, regardless if it's going to make those folks over there like me or dislike me. So, bottom line is, if you choose to be with a man, especially because you got your own mission right now.
Yes, I do.
You got your own ministry. Your ministry is children.
Yes.
God got you out here taking care of multiple children, so many children that come through, and you've created a safe environment from them. And we've seen crazy stuff. You created a safe environment for those children. That's your ministry. In order for a man to want to be a part of your life and what you do, they would have to respect your ministry and not take away from it.
I agree with that.
Right. But you can't be no foster mother with 4 children, plus you got your own children, and be broke, or be with somebody where now he's almost like a 5th, a 6th foster child because he got potential and an idea, but he don't got no money.
No,
and now he's eating on their Lunchables and drinking their Capri Suns, Andrea.
Okay, I'm not dealing with somebody like that. No, I'm not.
Obviously. So, you know what I'm saying? Even if you got a job, so the point is, everybody has a price.
Sure. Okay.
Yo, man, we're gonna have to put Derek on timeout, man. He done turned this conversation into we back to the submission thing. You got me, Derek. But everybody has a price. I spoke about price in terms of moral turpitude. I don't want a morally bankrupt woman.
Dude.
You can't move with, it's going to negatively impact your situation if you were to be with a financially bankrupt man.
True. You're right. I agree with that.
Only if you were blessed enough, like some women are blessed enough, only if you were blessed enough to see him in one of his greatest moments that don't involve money. And if you see him in that moment, the money would never matter again.
Preach, brother.
We have an opportunity. That's funny.
That was my son Quentin talking about preacher.
What up, Big Q? What up, my dude?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, man. The thing is, you really truly look. I got a co-sign from Andrea's son. Go figure, yo. All right, salute. But yo, real talk. A lot of times, women look for what they think they want and what they think they see and what they think is impactful, is sexy, is important. But a lot of times, they don't realize what's important until they see that man shine in that moment when he has his Bruce Leroy glow. And none of that other shit matter ever after that. Ever. You got chicks that are married for 30, 40 years to a guy that only make 40, 50 grand a year. But when they were younger, he was a big chubby dude in his bowling shirt and he just kept winning the bowling competitions, and he was that dude in that vibe, and she saw him in his highest element. And he was a star to her. You guys saw Married with Children. Y'all heard about Al Bundy and the 4 touchdowns that he ran at Polk High, and Peggy's still with him.
Yeah.
We have to start finding out what is that thing that makes us look at those people as stars, as important, as awesome. Because in the end, that's what matters. That's what's going to make us forego the money, because we know. Y'all seen Karate Kid? Mr. Miyagi wasn't rich.
No, he wasn't.
But he was legendary. He was important. You know what I'm saying? And we have to get back to that thing. And I'm going to just say this one last piece. Y'all remember, y'all look for greatness with trappings of gold and people riding in on golden blazing chariots. But people forget Jesus came in riding a donkey. God represented himself to Moses as a freaking bush. So maybe we're looking for our greatness in the wrong places.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Exactly.
But yeah, so now we got into a different arena. We're gonna go to another conversation. And this is the other conversation that we were here for. What is the sinister laugh for? Put me on.
No, that's an important conversations, because the questions are, how did that conversation start?
Say that again.
Because the questions are, how did that conversation start? We only seen what the video showed, but we don't know how that conversation started. How did it get to there?
Exactly.
And then the question that I think the outrage of the video, yes, but then the question that nobody stopped to ask them kind of questions. They only heard what they heard, but didn't ask how that conversation started.
All right.
And we didn't get that piece.
So here's what we're going to do, folks. Oh, thanks, Vic.
And that's where Victor Freeze come in, is we need more information.
There's going to be situations definitely with more information. We should have called this one the More Information Show. right? But you said why. I think why was important. Why was definitely important. So what I'm going to do is show you what we have here, and we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
And only on Fox tonight, Child Protective Services fires an employee caught on camera telling a 14-year-old girl in foster care to be a prostitute. But that state agency said nothing about the video's existence during a recent court hearing. Fox 26's Randy Wallace joins us live from downtown with that exclusive. Randy?
Yes, Sherman, you would think the judge overseeing the 14-year-old girl's custody case would need to know about the cell phone video, but apparently CPS didn't think so.
She's a mother of 9, and she does have a daughter who has had some behavioral problems.
That's why Keisha Basley turned to Child Protective Services. But then her 14-year-old daughter told her when she told a CPS employee she was hungry, that worker told her to become a prostitute. The daughter recorded the CPS worker on her cell phone.
I was there, because the worker had been, in fact, telling her, this is how you can make money. You need to do this. I used to do this, and you could do the same thing.
You're basically telling a child that lives in a hotel, you can make $1,500 a day if you're a prostitute.
Right, and also it might be something you want to do if you want to eat.
When I saw the video with that lady, it's like my soul left my body.
I think that they're threatened by the fact that this video even exists. They know about it. They've apologized. The head of CPS has apologized about this. What they didn't do was tell the court that's dealing with this case that that's what's going on. Yesterday, they asked the court to dismiss this case.
Attorney Mike Snyder says Thursday, CPS was hoping to dismiss the case and get the 14-year-old girl out of the state's care. That didn't happen. The girl is now living in a foster home instead of a hotel.
You don't have a therapist. They don't have a therapist. You don't want them.
The fact that they don't think it's relevant that their own agency is trying to prostitute a child, that's incredibly disingenuous to have a hearing and not bring that to the court's attention.
Now, CPS sent us a prepared statement. DFPS is aware of the video and has taken action. The person in the video, who was employed as CPS support staff, was dismissed from her position August 10th. The safety and appropriateness with which children in care must be treated is our paramount concern. Nothing less will be tolerated. Reporting live from downtown, Randy Wallace, Fox 26 News.
Peace to my ninja Randy and them. Let me get one of this. Yeah. So that's the first piece of that particular video.
Yes.
That's the first piece. So let's talk about what we see here. Derek said, yo, I love when Derek comes through, yo. To the California panelists, it's called inference skills. You don't necessarily need to see the beginning of a conversation. Catching the middle and ending of something, you can glean what happened.
But how did that conversation start? I don't feel like that's fair. Okay, because how did that conversation start? Because I guess you didn't pay attention to, because I did hear her offer say, you want some counseling?
Oh, no. Wait. Did you just notice we didn't play that video for them?
Oh, okay, my bad.
He was, hey, let me help you out. Yo, you just ready to fight. You don't even care what the topic is. He was referring to the last conversation, yo. Oh, snap. Andrea is that homie that you're going to want to take to the inner city with you if you guys are suburb raised, all right? For real. So viewers, yeah. She be ready to brawl, yo. So yeah, that's the old one. I'll tell you.
Get you
So,
there.
Here's a current one. He stated it's well known that CPS is notorious for exploiting displaced children. Former CPS head Laura Silsby is a devil on earth. Now I'm gonna have to look up Laura Silsby because he stated that. Death Mage Devon said, wow. Derek said there's a Stu Peters documentary called These Little Ones that just dropped, dealing with the global child trafficking. Yeah, take your time. You good. Exploitation rings. Absolutely heartbreaking. Death Mage Devon stated it shouldn't matter how it starts. CPS should not be telling her she can make money doing that. So, for the record, let's just say this. Javon, CPS wasn't actually saying it. The person, you know what? I don't want to give too much information. If you give me a moment, what I'm going to do is give you guys an opportunity to freshen up, roll up, do what you got to do. Bear with me one moment. We're going to get you guys situated. Hold on.
Should it matter how it started? CPS should not be telling.
Hold on 1 second. We're going to give you guys a little. Normally, you know, Kevin Samuels and them say, give me the super chats. Give me the super chats. Give me the super chat. Get the likes up. Right? So I got to do my piece to get the likes up. And he normally will have money work. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to give you a little interlude of King Sis. All right. And you vibe with it for a minute, and we shall be back shortly. 3 minutes.
Daydream with me, let your mind explore all the things we were created for. Possibilities, an open door that keeps us reaching out for more. Sure that I'm not sure, know when I don't know it, so I listen for my inner voice. Carry the winds, drown out the rain, but will it make sense?
cute.
Say it again.
I like the way you did that. The blue and the black. I like that. It's cute.
Oh, you know what I mean? I'll be creative. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. Oh my God. And King Sis song just goes right with it.
Yeah, peace to King Sis.
Yes. You know, she sung to me at one of my birthday parties. Shout out to a party somebody gave me. And she sung to me.
King Sis is an amazing artist. If somebody asked me who would I compare King Sis to, in terms of the music, in terms of the writing, right? Because I'm a writer too on the hip hop side. In terms of the writing and her style, you know, I could blend her in with her, you know, with some of the vulnerabilities and honesty of SZA. You know, I could definitely see it, but her voice is really airy, and she's a great artist. King Sis, check her out. And the beauty of it is, I don't have to, you know, with regarding King Sis, I don't get copyright claims for her music. So peace to them. But yeah, go ahead.
This morning I played in the RB because I forgot about that song, Rocksteady. I love that song.
What, the one I played the other day?
Yes, I played this.
The Truth?
Huh?
The Truth?
Yes. I played Rocksteady. It was a song called Rocksteady.
Oh, okay. Steady Love. You talking about?
Steady Love. Steady Love.
Yeah, that was tight. Go ahead.
I thought that was tight. That was tight. It was. Shout out to Ty. I thought that they was a real couple. I ain't gonna lie. The video made it so real that I thought him and her was a real couple. I was like, she found a man. Oh my God, he's a good man.
You caught up in the imagery. See.
Sometimes we need that, okay? But yeah, I did. When I see that video, I was like, oh my God, they was together.
So let's talk. You remember the last thing that we showed?
The CPS worker. We saw the what the CPS said. What was their statement? It came out in the mother.
So here's what I want to do. I want to actually play the video that shows the exchange. But not just that. I'm also going to be showing the statement from her mother. Now, this is going to be important, Andrea, because we had this. Hold on a second. We had this conversation earlier. So try not to use what I said because we're not going to be able to fully reenact the conversation.
Yes.
But don't be trying to act like certain things you find out after was the shit you knew before, yo. Then we gotta play fair, yo. I'm gonna start recording our phone calls.
Okay.
Right. So.
You know how
and then I'm gonna send the transcripts of the full calls to them dudes you was dating that you talked about.
Right. Okay. But you know how you talk to your girls. You
say we're gonna have 3 of your exes on this show called Truth and Balance. And
I'm just saying, you know how you talk to your girls, you were free to say whatever, and then when you in front of company, you might PC a little bit. You might, try to keep it,
I hope them girls put you in front of 1,430 people and counting. How about that? I just asking some questions. It's Chef Lynch. I'm just asking questions. I don't know. I compartmentalize and shit. Yeah, hold up. Oh, Derek earlier he said, question, where's the daddy? Okay, we'll leave that alone for a minute.
Yeah, we gotta leave that alone.
I want to play this thing here. Let's keep it going because we ain't finna do no 3 hours, Andrea Lynch. All right.
I got you.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Imagine a state worker telling a 14-year-old foster child
Were you able to hear anything?
No, just a little
Me
bit.
either. Hold on 1 second.
Factor Uncensored. Imagine
go out and prostitute to earn money.
They don't want us to be great. Hold on.
Okay.
And we begin tonight with a story that you'll only see here on Fox. An employee with Child Protective Services is caught on camera telling a 14-year-old girl in foster care to become a prostitute.
That's right, and this girl is one of hundreds of kids in CPS custody living in hotels all over the state. Fox 26's Randy Wallace live from Southwest Houston here with this story. Randy, the exclusive.
Yeah, Jonathan. Now, earlier this year, a federal judge scorned Child Protective Services for making kids available for prostitution in the CPS system. Now we have a case employee with
Houston here with this story. Randy, the exclusive.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored.
And we begin tonight with a story that you'll only see here on
Keep talking. I'm trying to get this thing set up. Don't mind me. Bear with me.
What was the yes. So I want to know how the conversation started. That's how that piece got to there, because that's not a regular conversation you have with a 14-year-old, just as me. So how did this conversation start? And the cameras only started rolling when she started recording. So what?
Wait, say that part again. You said the cameras?
The cameras only started rolling when she started recording. So what led up to this conversation? What led up to have this conversation? That's what I'm trying to understand.
So, all right, let me help you out. You remember you seeing the videos that I played?
Yes.
They haven't seen what I played.
Yes.
So
Okay.
you asking questions that they're not gonna even understand the questions.
Yes, right. I forgot.
Right. And those were points that I threw at you that you're trying to use on them at the wrong damn time. That's disingenuous, yo.
I was not trying to. I'm not trying
recording these goddamn conversation because now you're gonna act like you was a super truth and balance person. You was a super balance. And you was asking me on that bullshit, but now you're like, no, what I think is that, you know, in the way, I'm just saying the way that the conversation was juxtaposed.
I was on the bullshit.
Was juxtaposed incongruently. I'm just saying, Steph, what you think?
I was on I was on that bullshit. My first reaction was, "Oh no, she should. Oh, she didn't be gone. Oh no, I was on that bullshit, but I was. I ain't gonna lie, I was.
Let's play it because there's stuff they don't know about what we talked about. So let me play.
Okay.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Imagine a state worker telling a 14-year-old foster child to sell her body if she wants to eat. That's exactly what a Houston family says a now fired Child Protective Services worker did. The 14-year-old, who is in the custody of the state, recorded the conversation and handed it over to her mother and their attorney. Take a listen.
I don't want to spend my free period to live with some let you bitch. That's how my mama taught me. You gonna be a real I mean, but I'm just old now, so I'm days gone. I got a child. But yeah, I can tell you.
So Keisha, When your daughter first told you this CPS, this state worker, told her to go out and prostitute, what did you think?
I was like really blown away. Like I was really blown away. I was shocked that a state worker that was there supposed to protect children, would say something like that to my child. It made me wonder like how many other kids she have told this to. Because if like she could just bluntly come out and say this to my child, this is not the first kid she has told this to.
Now, your 14-year-old was there because you needed help with her, right? And so you turned to the state for help.
Correct. And we agreed, me and the CPS agreed for them to take conservative.
And Mike, hearing a story like this, where a state worker tells a child to go out and prostitute to earn money for food, your thoughts on this?
I have the same concern as Keisha, which is, could this possibly be the one and only time this has ever happened? Has anybody ever interviewed the hundreds of girls who've been placed in hotels all across Texas for the last few years by CPS? Do we need to revisit whether they even need to be placed in hotels? That seems like an accident waiting to happen at best.
Absolutely.
So I also hope there's no retaliation against Keisha or her daughter for speaking up. Her daughter has been moved a few times in the last few days, and I hope they're not messing with her. Hopefully there'll be a safe, secure place that's stable, and she won't be exposed to this anymore. But I'm as worried about the systemic issues as her specific case.
And listening to that state worker and the tone that she had with your daughter, Keisha, and Mike, you can join in on this as well. It almost felt like a damn recruiter.
Yeah, that's what I felt like. I felt like she was trying to recruit girls, young girls, like she trying to be a madam. And that don't sit well with me. That's not the way that you talk to anybody, especially a young teen that's already going through problems, that's already having some issues.
Yeah, I mean, I did get that kind of groomer overtone, and it also seemed like she knew that she could capitalize on the fact that a lot of these kids are not having their needs met. They're not being fed enough. I know Keisha had to take groceries over to her daughter before this happened.
That's ridiculous, especially when you reach out to the state and the state has agreed to give them the help. Now, what's the status of this worker now, Mike?
So my understanding is that she is no longer with the agency, but I haven't heard anything further than that. I don't know if other workers have been interviewed. I don't know if they have done interviews or welfare checks on these girls. Not only should somebody be talking to them, they need medical exams and everything that goes with this kind of behavior.
Yeah, they need to backtrack on this worker and make contact with every child that she's had contact with to see what she may have told them or what she may have told them to do, as in the case with this 14-year-old. So Keisha has
fair use.
An apology from CPS or the state for this behavior.
From the commissioner, Miss Jamie, but from no. I have not.
Okay. And Mike, obviously you feel like this could be a bigger problem. What do you think state lawmakers need to do in order to get a handle on this situation? There were allegations earlier this year about how CPS children were being treated, foster care children as well.
Well, you make a good point, because what the federal judge overseeing CPS brought up was that these kids were susceptible at the home in Bastrop for being a victim of third-party prostitution or solicitation. Now it seems like instead of going forward, we're kind of going backwards, and now it's CPS itself or their employees are a part of this. So to answer your question, I'd like someone to tell the legislature what kind of screening procedures they have for those who are working for CPS, those who are going to be around kids.
You're on mute, Chef.
All right. Thank you. So I'm about to piss some people off at some point, and it's okay. I'm a human being, and that's going to let you see me as more human. All right. So let me put this on the screen first. Derek stated it's well known CPS is notorious for exploiting displaced children. All right. We saw that one. Deathmate said, should it matter how it starts? CPS should not be telling her she can make money doing that. Derek's a trifling low down. That laugh was not for that. It was for something else. Derek stated, question, where's the daddy? We're going to talk about that, Derek.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't going to do 3 hours translation. We're probably going to do 3 hours. Peace. Yep, you can even hear Danique Anthony says the same thing. That's a man that's a little bug, remember? Oh, goddamn. All right, we got to show that. The reporter, Isaiah Carey, he was also that reporter that during a news article, one of the funniest memes news articles ever, he swallowed a bug, and he wasn't a happy camper. He was not a happy camper. Here we go.
To high school that led to Chris Wood's death. The fuck is that? Shit! I'm dying in this fucking country ass fucked up town. Shit flying in my mouth. The fuck? I can't see pollen. And get the fuck out this country, motherfucker. I can't even see me. Okay.
Peace to Isaiah Carey. I'm glad you was able to get promotions and you ain't had to be around the bugs anymore, family. You never saw that one before, Andrea?
First time I ever seen that.
Damn, yo.
And somebody said that on camera.
Yeah, he was not a fan of them bugs, yo. He was not a fan of them bugs. Still on that she should be fired BS. However, if you want to know what led up to someone being killed at a kid's football game, it's not unreasonable for Andrea to want to know what led to this. It's absolutely right. Wait. What are you saying?
I agree.
You seeking lots of vindication over here, buddy. I didn't disagree though. Remember, we were disagreeing on that.
Yes.
So, Erin, you said that she should be fired BS. However, if you want to know what led up to someone being killed, it's not unreasonable. The thing is, here's the thing. Andrea should be honest.
I wasn't. I really didn't really care how. I really didn't really care how the conversation started because
right.
She should be fired immediately. I didn't care what the conversation started. I don't really care. I didn't ask no questions. I didn't care. And Chef is the one who started asking the questions. Like he had Andrea around here.
Thank you.
So
you know, literally, she was like, "Well, why they did this and that?" Yeah. But I was the one that was stating that we need to know the conversation and what triggered all of that. You get what I'm saying? The only thing is, y'all see a more understanding Andrea tonight because we partially had the conversation earlier, so she had an opportunity to enhance her her topical leanings. Let's call it that, right?
I agree with that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I wasn't asking no questions, Aaron. I feel like she'd be fired. I ain't got nothing to say. Call it a day, okay? But Steph just said you need to ask them some more questions.
Deathmate said he went from proper to hood real quick. Derek said, "What happened to professionalism in journaling? In journalism?" Fair, and I know there was some laugh when I commented. Hell yeah! So let's talk.
Yes.
So you just make sure I understand.
Yes.
What I played was the actual conversation
Mhm.
that she had with the 14-year-old. So here's where we go to the to the questions, the odd questions, y'all. And just to give a trigger alert at this point, the questions are not to demean, denigrate, or deny what may have been felt by the person that was recording this. It's just some questions in order for us to balance our level of emotion. So if you notice the dynamic of the conversation, I can run it back. If you notice the dynamic of the conversation where that CPS worker, people were using the term originally CPS case worker. This person was not a CPS caseworker. That is different.
Yes.
All right. This was a CPS staff worker.
Yes.
Which is more like what you would consider a chaperone for kids that are living within the foster care system, living within group homes. These are chaperones. The person was asking her questions. Asking the questions. And saying, so I'm saying, if you don't want no therapy for this, and you're going to do this, then you might as well get money for it. So when we talk about the beginnings of a conversation, we talk about the conversation that started all of it. What was that conversation? That conversation kind of sounded like the conversation of a woman that knows that another woman younger than her is giving up her feminine wiles or her holiest of holies. And she's telling her, you're wasting it. People that work as staff workers for CPS, people that work as staff workers for city or state agencies are not they're not highly paid individuals. The person that was talking to this young woman spoke about her past.
Yep. Sure did.
At the beginning of it, she asked, I'm saying, you don't want therapy? You ain't trying to get no therapy? So, in terms of that conversation, what she's saying to her, what that means, those contextual clues show me that she figured something out about that 14-year-old, or she caught that 14-year-old in the midst of some sort of behavior.
Yeah.
Or, if you want to go to the lightest point, she recognized a certain proclivity within that 14-year-old that is representative of a certain class of women. In many states, especially larger states, Texas is the largest state, Cali, New York, largest states. In larger states, what happens is they don't always have facilities and what are they called? Group homes to be able to facilitate those children. So they have to utilize hotels. Hotels will have men or young boys and young girls in them, maybe a different floor. Excuse me. So, with all of that being said, Did anybody think that maybe that caseworker who happens to work more so as a chaperone, not she wasn't a caseworker, she was a staff employee.
Mm-hmm.
She worked as a chaperone, more or less. And she's talking to the old girl or the young girl. That means that, and she's speaking from the level of seeing her in action, in activity.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, what precipitated that conversation? What did she see? Because there's multiple people that she was overseeing. What did this staff worker know or see from this young girl? Anybody wants to call me a victim blamer, you can go ahead and call me a victim blamer. That's not what we're doing. What we're doing is just breaking down stats, facts, figures, and seeing what makes sense. So she literally asked her, she said, you don't want to get therapy? You could get therapy. You don't want to get therapy? And she said, well, if you're going to keep doing this, then you might as well get money for it.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Doing this. What is this? What is this? It's obviously, if I have a conversation with someone and I utilize the term this, that means that both of us, regardless of the rest of the world, knows nothing. When I use the term this, that means both of us are in agreement what this is.
Sure.
Or the person would say, what is this? So now, what it says to me, and I watched multiple different venues of the information of that particular recording and everything. It says to me that that person speaking to her was giving her a talking to about something that she's seen or witnessed or knows about a certain subset of behaviors that this particular young woman may be or may have been exhibiting. And she felt comfortable enough to talk about it like that to her.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that's what I want to figure out. Not just the words that came out of this person's mouth. Watch this. Not saying that, yo, if you're going to be doing all of this, then you might as well be selling it. You know, you could get money such and such. When I was younger, blah, blah, blah. You don't want to go seek therapy, then get some money for it. Me as a father, yeah, we in this topic, I ain't going to monetize it. I would want to know, what the fuck is this? What's the this? What happened? What made this strange staff worker from CPS have to tell my daughter that if she's going to be doing this, then she might as well get paid for it and she can make $1,500 a day. I want to know what this is. Pardon me for my enthusiasm. I'm a father. I want to know what the fuck this is. Everybody's talking about what she said. Nobody's asking about this. And that's why I speak to objectivity and understanding. So let's talk. We're going to talk.
I mean, after I was on the bullshit beginning. I was on the bullshit. I ain't gonna lie, I was on the bullshit because I feel like she'd been fired. She blah blah blah. But as the conversation went on with me and you, and then you start asking the questions, it made me think about, how did a conversation with a 14-year-old and that lady, I believe she was could have been in her 30s, 25. I think she was older. I think she was in her 30s. She recognized something that probably the mama don't even recognize or don't know.
And she was able to connect it to her own childhood
Yes.
Because she talked about her youth.
Yes.
So I want to know, what was the precipitating factor, the beginning, the origins, or the thing that happened to precipitate this conversation? Because now we're about to bend this corner another way. We got to walk them up the road, Andrea.
Okay.
You guys see who's bringing the case against CPS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is it, Andrea?
The mother is the mother.
Thank you. All
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
The mother is bringing this case against CPS. So now we're about to talk. We're going to talk.
Mm-hmm.
The daughter was in foster care.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, rocks and flowers in the garden. The daughter was in foster care. As we watch this, how many people questioned? And I'm gonna give you guys a minute, right? I want to know. Put a 1 in the chat if you questioned why was the child in foster care, and 2 in the chat if you did not question at all. 1 in the chat if you questioned why the child was in foster care, and 2 in the chat if you didn't worry at all. And I'll give you a little interlude. 1 minute. Let me give you some Kevin.
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right. It's not hard to fool me. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yeah, lead the way. I follow. No need to say. With me, you're heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. To the edge of it all. So tell your good lies. 'Cause I'll find no better one. Yeah. Susceptible lies.
Good lads. Anyway, yeah. So let's see what our third panelist is saying, which is the chat. Derek says 1. Deathman said, I've double foster children. This is crazy to me. Deathman said 1. We'll see. Erin Laura. 2. She heard the mom's explanation. 1. Oh, that's you. You don't get to play in the game.
Why are you worried about me?
Certain statements, you just say to kids now. If this was a grown woman, that's different. Derek said, look at the California panel's bobbing her head. Hey. So,
Mm-hmm.
now we're going to address certain things. Because the question you guys were asking were pretty much the question that I was asking.
Mm-hmm.
The mother that is exhibiting such a high superfluous display of love for her child.
Mm.
One question would be, why?
Yes.
Would be, why is the child in that situation in the first place? Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's an important conversation.
Yeah.
Did anybody wonder why? So let me run it down to you in a certain way and adjust this camera. Checking my fresh. But the why. We're listening to a mother that's literally emoting, delivering, restating an issue that took place with her child,
Mm-hmm.
her biological child, that happens to be in the foster care system. That was interesting to me. I know some of you, I may lose subscribers off of this one. Some people may not like me. It's okay. I got to be honest. So, why is your daughter in the foster care system? Why? And I don't have any chicken in my teeth. That was just a dramatic,
Yeah.
you
She
know.
has 9 kids. The mother has 9 kids.
Okay.
She has
Thank
9
you.
kids.
Thank you. All right. Hold on a second because we ain't hit them dating. The mother has 9 children. This particular child is not the youngest of her 9. She has 9 children. 9 children.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm. So now let's talk about facts within the story.
Yes.
Did you guys notice that they stated that what took place with that staff worker, not caseworker like people tried to use initially in some videos, the staff worker? And there's a lot of pages that went and changed it from caseworker to stat worker so they didn't have to worry about libel. You know, but the first day it said caseworker.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, this particular person, why would a child who has a mother be in the foster care system in the first place? A lot of people didn't realize that. A lot of folks didn't listen to the fact that they stated that one of the issues that the mother and the lawyer of the mother had was the fact that the state and CPS was trying to dismiss the case. They were attempting to dismiss the case. Right?
Yeah.
What case? My kid could not, my child or one of my children living with me could not be in foster care unless I put them there, requested them to be there,
Mm-hmm.
or I showed that I am unable to, care for them, or I showed a proclivity for a particular subset of behaviors that would make it, incongruent for me to raise multiple children. How many children does the mother have, Andrea?
She has 9 children. 9 children.
Vaginally. So for the record, the state was attempting to dismiss the case.
Mm-hmm.
What was the case? She was attempting to put her daughter into foster care.
Yep.
So sit down and marinate on that for a second. Just sit and marinate on it for a second. You got 9 kids. This is not even one of the last ones. You got 9 kids. One of the earlier children that you birthed vaginally. You're not a foster mother. You're a mother.
Yes.
There's people that have difficulty raising 2 or 3 kids at the same time.
True.
Because, and you're a professional in raising kids, so you understand. There's
Yes.
people that are unable, that feel that raising 2 or 3 kids is a hell of a job to do.
Yes, it is. Yes, it's a lot.
Imagine 9.
Yeah. That's a lot. I know how to be good at doing 4. 9, I'm like, I lost my mind. That's a lot.
In New York, there's a thing called PINS, 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 Parents in Need of Support.
Yes.
There's a petition called the PINS petition, where parents, and I know a couple of people that had, some of the cats I grew up with from young, I grew up around some, I ain't gonna lie, some wild savages, right? And many of them had good parents that did the best they could. So they would do a PINS petition, which is a Parents in Need of Services petition. And what it is was it would open them up to different services that would help them rear their child in the right way, get them mental help, activities, all of these different things. But the PINS, Parents in Need of Services petition, was to work as was something in lieu of just shipping your kids off and making them wards of the state. What it did was it gave parents that's why it's called PINS, Parents in Need of Support. It gave the parents more or less a support system and giving them some tools to be able to rear their children. And that always comes before asking for, the state to take your kids to make them wards of the state. She was already at the process where she was attempting to make her daughter a ward of the state. People that work as staff workers for state agencies are not the higher paid versions. They're not management. So they're much closer to what you call minimum wage than management within those organizations would be. So let's say, now here's where we're going to throw it off. Let's say that person that was that staff worker, which is pretty much a paid chaperone, went through a certain aspect of life. They may not have been that astute and strong in terms of understanding how to deliver certain messages to certain groups, but let's say she was a victim of that same type of lifestyle that this young 14-year-old was exhibiting. And she was talking to her like, yo, don't fuck your life up, yo. And if you're going to you don't have to go get some therapy, because she talked about therapy. Therapy was the first option. And pretty much, you feel me, Andre, about the therapy part? She said, wait, you shaking your head at me or them?
Something. So sorry, I can pay attention. But yes, she was she offered her therapy and she didn't.
She didn't offer her. She talked to her about it.
She said, "You don't want no therapy," and it seemed like the young girl was not open to going to therapy.
And that's where me as a dad would wonder, what the hell did this person see take place? Or what does she know that makes me? What does she know, or what does she do that makes me want to ask her about therapy? You get what I'm saying?
She's seen something. She's seen something, or she heard something, or saw something, and she pointed it out to her. And maybe she was close to the situation. It made me feel like the mom don't know.
So let's talk. So in the end, then, our outrage. Our outrage. And here's where sometimes we as a society, we tend to work against our true desired goals. Our desire is to help that young 14-year-old girl.
Yes.
Our desire is to put her in a better place. But me, as somebody that looks for true growth and true understanding, my desire would be to sit down and interview that staff worker about what she knows, what she heard, what she saw, and what she understood in order to tell this girl, look, at this point, you a hoe. And if you're going to do this shit, then you need to do this shit the right way and get you some money. It sounds messed up when I said it.
Mm-hmm.
But she said, I was like you. So she sees something the parents don't see. She sees something we don't see. But she saw something in that young woman, that was strong enough for her to tell her, you know what? If therapy is not going to be what you want to do, and you're going to do this stuff, then you might as well feed yourself by it. Here's the kicker, though. Peace to everybody's aunties. I ain't mean to piss y'all ladies, aunties off, but I'm about to drop something.
Yes.
Aunties, mamas, big sisters, feminine elders within the community. Many of them have whispered that thing in the lady's ear. You done been hanging with a man all night and you coming home and you hungry? You digging in my fridge? What you doing?
That is true.
Oh, you heard that phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now, girl. Listen to your auntie now. You sitting on a gold mine over there. And you just letting these men blah, 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 blah. So now, we're in a situation where there's women that are preaching, older women that are preaching to the young women about the gold mine they're sitting on. That's old news.
Yeah.
So now, let's say this. And y'all could cuss me out and blackball me or whatever. It's okay. But guess what? What if I said to my sisters that what that caseworker, let me stop saying caseworker. What that staff worker for CPS was saying was some of the same stuff that big sisters and aunties in our community teach our women.
True.
So now, that's heavy.
It is.
But there's one piece I want to really, really leave it on is this. I know the father I am. I know the father. Well, technically the mother that Andrea is to the children that she takes care of. And guess what? There's a lot of things that we would know and we wouldn't know. One thing we know for a fact is this woman has 9 children. And she was actually in the process of attempting to push that daughter to be a ward of the state. Marinated on it for a second. She was trying to give her to the state. The state attempted to dismiss the charges. You know, she was trying to give her daughter to the state. And she birthed this child. Somebody would say, well, the daughter showed it to her, like Andrea did. Well, the daughter showed it to the mom. I say, yeah. Normally, kids that know and want to stay in the home that they live in, they're going to do what they can to stay there. So I could easily imagine that girl that doesn't want to be made a ward of the state, when she gets an opportunity to see the mom and says, look, mama, you leaving me with these people. You leaving me with these people. Look what they doing. Look what they telling me. And she recorded the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
My keen eye might need more information. My Victor Freeze eye would pull me back to the place that says, what made this person that went through some heavy trauma want to school you on the way that you use your vagina? What did she see? What did she know? She was telling that young lady about the way that she was using her holiest of holies.
Yep.
So the conversation goes deeper than that. That's all I got. We're going to be doing these segments, throughout as we do it. But these are questions. It's not for me to throw my platitudes on you guys. In the words of the ubiquitous and unambiguous Andrea Lynch, peace to Derek C. Williams. I'm just asking some questions.
I mean, somebody should be asking. She got 9 kids. Where's the children fathers at? And where's that girl's father at? Because if the mom can't take care of her, her daddy can't take care of her.
Oh, now you saying
if
she was cute.
She don't have
cute. She had a little thickness. Them dreads looked like they was nicely oiled and twisted. Makeup was cute. So let's talk.
So if the of the dad's side of the family is a mom asking the dad's side of the family to help, sometimes when the other aunties or the like she might can hear the other aunties on the dad's side of the family. It don't matter. It's somebody in the family she can hear. But she didn't have no help from nobody else.
But in terms of the Andrea Lynch thing, that's the question to ask.
Yes.
That's the question to ask. My question is, I would literally, if y'all can find her, I will give her $500 so that I can talk to her in an interview and ask her what led you to having that conversation, because I believe that is key.
Yes.
That recording started a little too late for me.
Yes.
What did she see? What did she know to have that high depth of understanding and confidence and surety in terms of the message she was delivering? She was talking like somebody that knows about you.
And sharing her experience too.
And to the point of sharing her experience to show her, I'm just like you.
Yes.
So what that means is me as a father, as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
Before I went to the press, shit, I would have had to go and figure out what's that right there. But I'm a parent that came up, was a marketing executive for a record label at 19. So I recognize the level of optics and how certain information can come across. So if I see this person is talking to my kid in this way, they know more shit than I do. That's the person I put in the hotel suite. Just so they can be honest to hell and talk to me so I can understand what did they see.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
That's
the person. As a parent, honestly, that person went through some shit that my kid did not go through, and they're telling them, yo, if this is what you're gonna do, homie, then you need to do it the right way. I want to know,
what did she see or heard?
What does that person see in my kid? Because they see something that they saw in themselves, and they're an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So that's called empirical evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Evidence that is actually experienced, where you went through that. So in the end, a caseworker person, they weren't arrested. They was all cut. I wouldn't be surprised if the CPS of Texas did not give her a little settlement to shut her ass up and not say anything.
Yep. Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yep. Because obviously she's seen something. To me, as I thought about it, as I rewatched it, obviously she sees something in this young girl, and she recognized it, and she thought she could reach her by
I don't think she saw it in herself.
She saw it in herself by telling her experience, because she had to have this conversation with her.
So you
And
feel where I'm coming from.
As a parent, to me, I'll be talking to my daughter like, okay, was she having this conversation with you? What did she see in you? What are you doing that you ain't telling me?
Listen, if my daughter is behaving in a way that's for the streets, I'm not gonna want to get a Catholic nun, a Jehovah's Witness nun, a Seventh-day Adventist nun, a Mormon nun to go and talk to her. If my daughter's for the streets, I want to get a reformed hoe, a reformed 304, a reformed woman that's for the streets, that actually understands the signs, the precipitating factors, the motivations, the emotions, and all of those things that could potentially make my daughter a 304 for the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Abagnale. He was one of the greatest thieves we ever known. Frank Abagnale.
Okay.
He was part of a movie called, let me give you a minute. Frank Abagnale, he was the star of a movie called Catch Me If You Can. You ever saw that movie? Andre ain't see the movie because she muted and she went off screen. So I'll help y'all out. Catch Me If You Can was a movie that starred Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, yeah.
And you're saying, oh, yeah, you ain't even respond when I asked you. Anyway.
Leonardo
I'm gonna let the chat respond because you busy. Well, right. Where he was a crook. He was a scammer.
Mm-hmm.
And what ended up happening? He ended up being one of the number one people that corporations, banks, airlines, and all of these people used to help them create a safer environment and a less scam-free environment within what their business did.
Mm-hmm.
We learn from the crooks. We learn from the gangsters. We learn from the killers. We learn from all of these dirty people that we call dirty.
Yeah.
Because they've done it. So I think we need to learn from this person.
Sorry, hold on 1 minute.
So I say this. I think we need to learn from this person that was able to share their past with this young person.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to pick that person's brain to understand what it is they seen, what it is that they understood.
And what it is she saw.
The high degree, because she didn't tell her to change.
No, she didn't.
She said, yo, you going to see a therapy, you want therapy. If not, if this is what you're choosing, then do it right.
Mm.
We are squares. Well, y'all, many people are squares. But if somebody chooses to go to the other side, good. The person that mentors them on the side of good is one thing. But once that person chooses to acquiesce to their lower potential and to move to bad, they need a mentor on that side as well.
Mm-hmm.
They need a mentor on that side as well. Have I given my full opinion on what I think in the situation? Absolutely not. Why? Because I don't know. NMI needs more information. However, if we take some of these things that we've seen as fact, then we have to acquiesce to the truths that come from it.
I think she was trying to. I think she was. I think the worker was really trying to stop her and saying, "Look, you might need some therapy to help you with this, because I went through this." I think she told her experience because she thought if she can encourage and say, "I made it out of here, you can too." So, I think she was trying to help her. Maybe she went about it in the wrong. But as be honest and tell the truth, would I have that conversation with if it was my niece or it was my cousin? Yes, I would. And I would have spoke just like the worker spoke. But if it's not my child or might not relative to me, I might not have had that conversation like that. But at the same time, some of this new generation sometimes need the real. Let's keep it 100. This is the way it's going down in the real world. All that sugarcoating and all that trying to protect your feelings, they don't understand that. This young girl she knew what she was saying. She understood completely. And her mama is in just denial, and we call it tonight. She's in denial.
9 children. And remember, y'all, we're going to come back to it because I always want to make sure, even I'll do a whole show to say I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
This mother that is complaining about what took place, she was in the process of asking the state to take her daughter away from her. Her daughter did not want to go be an orphan in the foster care system of the state. I'm going to say it again. Yeah, I see you, Derek. The father's not even in the situation. That's a whole nother conversation. But I'll say this. The whole case, remember, where the state was attempting to dismiss the case. The mother was attempting to put this young child into the foster care system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She was not asking for services or for support. She was asking for them to take the child. Why would the child? Because one of the things Andrea said was, "Chef, why did your child record the conversation?"
Yep.
I'll give you my answer. I said to her, I said, "I'm going to imitate like I'm the child." "Mommy, I want to come home, Mama. I want to come home. You trying to send me away. I want to come home." "No, this is going to be the best for you. This is going to be the best for you." "No, Mama, look, they telling me to be a hoe. Look, watch this video. She told me I need to sell my pussy."
Yeah.
I'm not stating that child was not moving in a trajectory that was not positive for her.
Mm-hmm.
We just talking about what's called the situational dynamics. This mother of 9 was attempting to send her child off and for the state to take her child. And the child did not want to go.
Yeah.
And now the child is showing the mother a video of something someone said. What can you say? I need you to cook for a second, Andrea. Bear with me one moment.
Okay.
Try.
I mean, to me, as I look back, watch the video, watch it again, listen to the video again, that woman was trying to relate to that child to get her to stop doing what she was doing. And when she offered her therapy, she said, "You don't want no therapy?" So it made me go back and rewatch it and listen to it a little more. It's like, girl, you don't want to get out of here. She was trying. I believe the lady was trying to relate to get her to understand what she was doing is not okay. She's seen something. She's seen something. I just don't feel like the mama know. The mama know. And let's be honest. Sometimes my mama didn't know everything I was doing either. But you know who did? My auntie did, because I talked to my auntie. My older sister did know what things I was doing. My mom didn't because I didn't tell her. But I talked to my older sister and my auntie. And so I just believe this lady seen something, heard something, and she recognized this in this child. What do you say to that? Me personally, I would have been talking to the lady and said, what did you see in my child? Or I'll be talking to my child and say, why does she recognize and want to have that conversation about her own life with you? What are you doing out there when I'm not around? When I'm at work. What are you doing?
Thank you.
Let's tell the truth around here. It's called truth and balance. We're gonna tell the truth. And it's gonna be some hard things that people don't want to hear, and they might be mad because the way I feel. But it's something she recognized in that child.
And that's the key. Sometimes we think about our child rearing and we base it solely upon what we do.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to look at outside expertise.
Yeah.
Why does a hoe see my kid in themselves?
Yeah.
Why? Please tell me. Let me know. I beg you. I will pay you. I will take your ass on vacation so you can spend half an hour over a 7-day period, half an hour a day or 7 days, just to tell me what whole shit you see in my kid that you see in yourself.
That she felt compelled to share it with the girl. She was trying to reach her. As I look at that and as I think about it, she was trying to reach her and saying, look, I feel like she was trying to say, look, I made it out of there. You can too. You don't got to do this. Something that I think the mama is lacking and not talking to the daughter about.
Now I'm getting proud of you. Now I'm getting proud of you and shit. You know, I'll be proud of you sometimes. But you was like, yo, but you just dropped some shit. This is real, y'all. Listen to what she just said.
She recognized.
Andrea, not perfect, but even a broken clock is right twice a day. So if it's 10:48 a.m. Eastern time or 10:48 p.m., it's twice. Yeah. Listen.
She recognized something in that young girl.
She recognizes something. You said it better than I didn't even think about saying it like that, my friend.
She recognized and the reason
recognizes something in her, and
Mhm.
she wanted to pull something from her own personal resonance.
But that's what don't you use my kids to make me recognize and make me feel that if I'm not feeling something, you use my son or my daughter to get me the real put it in there. Yes. So she recognized something in her.
Yeah, because you be lying, and I know when you talk about your kids, you ain't gonna lie. So it's a trick.
She recognized something in her that she can reach this young girl and try to help her. And so to me personally, instead of the mother on camera and getting a lawyer and stuff, I would be talking to the lady. What did you see in my daughter, baby? How can you help me with mine? How can you keep her off the streets?
And that's the key. So let's do this. If we're gonna be honest to what we're stating and the ideas we're espousing about being true, being balanced, and leveraging a certain amount of understanding to all of the different sides. Because guess what? I went and I watched a lot of the shit. I had to watch it on 2x speed on different channels. There was one piece that nowhere else is you and I. And the fact that you're a foster mother, that adds credence and that gives you stripes to this thing. Nobody else was asking in any of the other platforms that I watched about it was asking about why she was trying to give the daughter to the state and the daughter did not want to go to the state. This was not a foster child. Why did you try to push her to the state? Another question. She is your blood child. and you're responsible for raising her and rearing her.
Yes.
What was it that this person who may have gone down, who seemed that had gone down a similar path, why did she feel? Somebody who literally stated that, look, I'm gonna say it straight. An old hoe, somebody that was an ex-hoe, saw your child in them and figured that she was going to give some hoe mentoring to your child to make them a better hoe or a less self-destructive hoe.
And I didn't like when the mom said she was trying to. I didn't think she was trying to groom her. I didn't think she was trying to recruit her. Did you listen to that?
Obviously, she's there. Obviously, whatever took place before that. What that is a throw off. What that
Yes.
is a throw off.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, let's do this. You know, we still learn this YouTube thing, but one thing we're gonna learn is we ain't gonna give them too much too early. We're gonna do a show about grooming and potential grooming.
Yes.
And because that's the term that people tend to throw around.
Yes.
But on this thing here, Andrea and I really got to a place in the earlier conversation. This is not a full reenactment, because she was not as agreeable as she seems right now.
I said I would say she was going to be. I said she could go somewhere and sit down. I said she had no business talking to my people. I said,
yo, I'm just fucking with you, yo. I'm just messing with you.
Don't be under the bus. I'll be having conversation with y'all, throwing y'all under the bus, okay?
Yo, I was just playing with you, kid. Relax. Yo, I was just playing. I just threw a little dagger, man. Listen, man. I don't care what any of y'all say, yo. Y'all could say this, you could say that, you could do this, you could do that. Y'all motherfuckers don't got Andrea Lynch on your shit, yo. Real talk, man. Because that passion is just like, boom! Right? But look, we came in thinking the show was going to be a certain way. We talked about it, and it kind of came through the way that we wanted to. But, I appreciate you being honest. You don't always be honest. Sometimes you be on that bullshit, but
the one thing we should raise the eyebrow is accountability on both parents. What about the father? Let's say accountability on both. And we need to start, if we decide to have children.
Okay, you do. Wait, I got to stop you now. You did accountability on both.
Both.
So now there you go.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I call your feminine defense chip kicking in. Remember? Look. Andrea Lynch, feminine defense chip, engage, chip. Listen, we wasn't talking about the father and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about the only people involved in that dynamic.
True.
What if her father is dead? What if she doesn't allow the father to be a part of her life? She has nine children.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's easy for people to say, well, what about the father? Peace to Vic DeFries needs more information about the father.
Okay.
What if the father happened to be a married man that has a wife and 4 children he's happily married to, and the mother of the daughter was a cute little short, thick chick with dreads, and he didn't know?
Okay.
Do you know how many women don't even go after the father because they know the man is married? Do you know how many fathers are out there that don't even know that they have a child that's theirs based on the fact that the person who was delivering said child was leveraging embarrassment and shame? and whether or not she was going to do things. There's women that's out there that got 2 jobs to feed a child that they're ashamed to say they had a child with because that man was married or the circumstances. So, yes, we could say, oh, the man, that's your feminine defense chip. Wouldn't always, when we talking about ovary, you want to go and throw some testicles in the conversation. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. So I'm gonna let it go. But yo,
yes. So
tell me what you think about this conversation tonight, my friend.
I think people rush to judgment. People didn't ask how the conversation started, and I think because I do think the case, the lady who worked for CPS, I feel like she recognized something in that girl, and nobody asked how that conversation started. So maybe I would love to know what I didn't see the camera show. I would love to know what was said, that she recognized something in that girl, because that's something that she used her own personal experience to. She used her own personal experience to try to reach her.
Yes.
She used her own personal experience to try to reach her.
We let people that commit murder, we'll let them off if they're able to tell us about how and why a different crime that other people committed, why it took place.
Yeah.
We will let somebody off for a specific crime because they're able to give us understanding of another crime that may be more potentially pivotal to the way that we live.
Yeah.
That's how people get off. That's how rats are made. People that are able to give that information. Y'all got to understand.
Well,
I would pay. I said 500. I'd pay 800 to put that staff worker on the lie detector test to ask them. And my first question would be, and I would talk just like a regular dude, regular ninja, be like, yo, how the fuck did this conversation start? Yo, put me on.
Well,
No, I'm not asking you. I'm saying what I would ask that person, because that's the most important information to know for me. What made you feel it was important for you to share this to my daughter? It's important for me. If you be like, listen, man, I've been a hoe all my life and I've been here 48 years. And look, she probably gonna be a better hoe than me. I got to respect it. I want to know, so I know what I'm contending with or what I'm fighting against. Go ahead.
But a level of understanding as a parent that maybe sometimes when you have friends who can reach your child better than you can, and they can talk to your child better than you can. So to me, as a parent, the mom should have went to that lady and had a conversation with lady. She would have seen something. She would have had a conversation and she would have helped her. But if you not in your own feelings,
Not a mom that's trying to get the daughter out of her fucking house. Not the mom that's trying to send her daughter off to the foster care parent. Remember, I need you to keep all of those factors in there when you're thinking about.
Well,
here,
the fact is,
right here.
The fact that she's getting on camera, I mean, I'm saying that because the fact that she's getting on camera, talk about she's grooming her daughter. I'm like, really? You ain't you didn't even ask. I'm like, you playing the game now.
Well, listen, y'all.
Yes.
Let's say this to each and every one of you here. If there's anything that this conversation actually showed you, I think it's important for you to understand that it's not always going to be a cookie cutter.
Yes.
And it's not always going to be the thing for you to watch the blurbs or the quick little segments that you see on the news. because they don't truly give you all of the objective variables and information that you need in order to make a real strong decision.
Or they don't give you. They don't ask the right questions.
It's not always the right questions. There's questions that you need to ask yourselves.
Yeah.
And don't leave it up to the press and the other folks that happen to decide to bring up a topic. Don't allow them to give you all of the narrative that's needed or to tell you the why. You need to have your own personal subset of questions that you need to ask so that you can understand, considering the fact that we live within an environment where people's opinions control a lot.
Yeah.
So what I do want to say is, did we come to the table trying to make you feel a certain way about these topics we talked about? No, that was the plan. The plan was to show you so many things that we can feel a way about. Even with what's presented to us, we still have to utilize our own personal modicum of deduction, of deductive reasoning,
Yes.
of visual inference, of if you're in the church, they talking about what is it? I have shit, I forgot the word now. It's late, y'all. You know what I mean? But in terms of the understanding that you have, the creative understanding, the understanding you have from your creator, the understanding that you get from your own brain, we need to use it more. Our heart is a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful, beautiful thing. The only thing is that our heart, even though our brain is the one that's the smartest, our heart has a tendency to mitigate or negate what our brain says. But our brain is the one that's doing math. Our hearts can make us feel like 2 + 2 = 6.
And sometimes we gotta lead with our brain before we lead with our heart.
I agree. So listen, y'all. It's been a beautiful night.
Yes, it has.
Definitely appreciate all of you guys. And look, I had a couple of extra clips to play, but we ain't doing that tonight.
Yes.
We ain't doing that tonight. You know what I mean? Because we had a really good time. A really good time. I will say this. Andrea thought she was going to be messing with me today. She thought she was going to be able to talk that talk.
What?
She thought she was going to be able to talk that talk. She'd be coming in trying to compete with your boy Chef.
I don't compete. I don't compete.
I snatched her wig off tonight. I'll show you. Got your ass.
With you, but I guess we're gonna start having to hit record. We have these in-depth conversations. We have to hit record from now.
Well, I just won't answer any of your goddamn phone calls anymore. If you send me a link, I ain't gonna talk shit.
Okay.
How about that? I'm just asking questions.
Fine. How about that? Okay. We got
So,
send me call. We got questions. Okay. Send me call. We got questions.
so yeah. So yeah, you got folks laughing over here. Please let these wonderful folks understand what makes you a wonderful, unique, and annoying soul. A wonderful and unique soul in this universe. Talk to us.
What makes me a unique soul? I'm just Andrea, trying to give my opinion, trying to see the best in people, and look for solutions. You can't solve the whole world, but you can try to look for solutions to help people. And if we recognize something in young people that their parents don't recognize, maybe their parents should have a conversation with us, because we might see something that we see in ourselves that we see in your child. So don't what's my thing? Don't be mad with the messenger about the message. How about that? There you go.
Sound like she just came up with that bullshit, but I'm gonna let her have it.
What?
Yo, what's up, y'all? 11:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 8:06 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm kind of annoyed because it's like early hours over in Andrea's side of town while we got to take our sister to sleep. But look, man, the conversation we had was heavy. She sends me a lot of stuff. And there's times that I'm like, hell no. And there's times in the discussion I realize, we should have said this shit on the show. So when I say that, that's definitely props to Andrea, because she, she brings certain things to the table. So what I'm going to have to do is, she may not like it, but when she sends me stuff, I'm going to potentially not tell her how I feel, because then I end up convincing her. And then when we go to try and reenact the shit, it's like, oh, you don't got the same energy as before. And that's what I'm saying to her. And I'm like, wait a minute, damn. I made some lucid points. Of course, you can't have the same energy as before. So we're going to figure this out, y'all. We're going to figure it out. But I enjoy this. I rock with and love my team. Andrea, Victor Freeze Music. Of course, I got to love myself. But this is what we do. We're going to keep trying to do this thing the right way. We're going to keep trying to deliver quality communication and information to you. We're also going to continue to try to do it a little differently than anyone else does. So all I can say is, it's going to be the first one. It's your boy Chef Shapino. Tired as hell. Even my old lady was like, yo, you pretty mellow today. I'm like, man, I'm tired. Remember, I'm a corporate executive, so this is not the only thing that I do. But peace, love, and light to all of you. We're going to keep this party going. You know what it is. Hold it down. Come through. Chef Shapino. Maison Shapino, the shoes. Check them out. That's all I got, man. I'm tired as hell. Peace, love, and light. I don't send your asses out to the streets just walking. I send you guys to the streets a certain way. You know how it is. So come on. Let me know about how I send your asses to the streets. It's critically important that we know how you hit the streets. Thank you, Aaron, Laura. You already know. Vibing. Wrong hand, right hand. Salute. Let's go. Peace.
Club phone jump, it's the weekend. Julian coming through with the big friends. Hitting on doors, that's a defense. Rolling with all, that's that offense. Hey, me, Chen, Jude, let me peach. With our bull shaking to my maybe drop bands. Today, won't buy, and I say, today, won't buy, you the kid play, baby, tell me what you want. Julian, I know you need fun. Ever since remember we been knocking at the door. Y'all be moving paper, we be running up the school. Never for that pillar, we was sleeping on the floor. West side Africa, you know the shit ain't cool. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Pop it, baby. Come roll with me. As times relax, my mind's relaxed. I got now from who got next. Here's my number, just send a text. You got a man and she responds, nah. Okay, show enough. I'ma let you go, don't wanna hold you up. I'ma call your phone when I put it up. Whoever let you go must be dumb as fuck. Wait for, wait for. Girl, you so fine, I pay for. Fly you first class to the lake for. Body so blessed, I pray for. Body so blessed, I pray for. Because I don't care what you say. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, vibing, driving all night long. Why the hell I kill it? Night long, night long, night long. That's the part where you get your girl, nigga. Make sure she focus, nigga. Make sure you focus, nigga. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, hit it. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. That's a hit for your ass, nigga. Hit for your ass, nigga. Prophet the One. Follow me on all Instagram sites, PROPHETTHEONE. That's Prophet the One in case you couldn't spell. But if you could, you already.
Good night. Awesome night. Awesome conversation. Awesome clips. Freaking awesome co-host. God is good all the time. All the time. God is good. What more can I ask for?